Thanks, Carl. And the next round of severe continues Thursday night and into the weekend. Dallas, you get a little bit of a break on Friday, but then that threat for thunderstorms returns Friday night and continues into Saturday. So we're going to time out that threat for severe weather. We're seeing that red area stretching from Wichita all the way down to San Angelo. That's the highest chance of seeing a tornado, as well as gusty winds and large hail. But again, it's a slow-moving system, so the same spots that saw some severe weather just a couple days before are in line for seeing that as well. So from now through Saturday night, this is how much rain we're expecting to see across the region. This is going to be a soaking rain. Potential flooding is very likely. 3 to 5 inches in those yellow spots, but mostly everyone will be seeing at least an inch of rain or more.
A wind advisory is in effect. Currently in our area, 76 degrees under cloudy skies with windy conditions. Tonight, mainly clear skies, low 55. Thursday, partly cloudy, chance of a thunderstorm. High 79, chance of rain 30%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Quaker breakfast flats are crafted with these delicious ingredients and more, and baked with our wholesome Quaker oats to help keep you going. Help satisfy your morning hunger with every single bite. Quaker breakfast flats.
The cordless revolution has arrived with 40 volts of raw lithium force. Ryobi is pushing the limits with unrelenting power that will outlast your yard on one charge. Surrender nothing but gas. The Ryobi mower, part of the 40 volt system, now just $2.99.
This is Keisha, and for one little girl, she's the world's greatest mom. But an unexpected dental bill grew into a problem even Keisha couldn't fix. So she reached out to Rise. With cash in your account as soon as tomorrow, and rates that go down with on-time payments. Giving Keisha the chance to keep on smiling. Rise, with $500 to $5,000 in your account, tomorrow's looking up.
My daughter is studying to be a dentist, and she gave me advice. She said, Dad, go pro with Crest Pro Health.
4 out of 5 dentists confirm these Crest Pro Health products help maintain a professional clean.
Crest Pro Health really brought my mouth to the next level.
Go pro with Crest Pro Health.
When I first started, I wasn't sure I could do it. Losing 50 pounds felt impossible. But just like everything else in life, it started with a single step.
Introducing new Lean 13 from Nutrisystem. Lose up to 13 pounds and 7 inches overall in your first month. Lose weight fast. Money back guaranteed.
I took the first step, and I'm so glad I did. It's simple. Just take the first step.
Nothing beats the feeling of losing weight every week. With Nutrisystem, I have so much more energy, and I feel great.
I lost 5 pounds, and then I lost 10 pounds, and then I lost 15. It's simple. Just take the first step.
Taking that first step changed everything. Now I'm finally healthy and in the best shape I've ever been.
Order your 28-day plan right now. With Lean 13, you'll get delicious meals and 1 week of Turbo Shakes free. Packed with protein and probiotics to help support digestive health and bust belly bloat. Plus 1 week of all new NutriCrush bars to crush cravings free.
I saw results fast. I'm Chris, and I lost 120 pounds on Nutrisystem.
My energy is back, and I can't stop smiling about it. I'm Melissa Joan Hart, and I lost 40 pounds on Nutrisystem.
Bye-bye, belly fat.
I saw results right away.
There's no counting, no measuring, no meetings. It's easy with Nutrisystem.
I took the first step. I'm glad I did. 48 pounds, gone.
I lost 50 pounds. I can't even tell you how good that feels.
I'm Jeannie Francis, and I lost 40 pounds on Nutrisystem.
I'm Marie, and I lost 50 pounds with Nutrisystem.
Call or click now, and we'll rush you Lean 13 today with 7 free shakes, 7 free bars, plus free shipping. Lose up to 13 pounds and 7 inches overall your first month. You'll love it. Money back guaranteed.
Call Nutrisystem and get your weight loss started today.
Call 877-845-PHIN right now and get new Lean 13 with 7 bars and 7 shakes free.
I hated our bathtub, but who has time for a remodel? Not this family. And then there's the mess. Then I heard about Bath Fitter. They came in and put a beautiful new bathtub right over our old one. Bath Fitter also has seamless walls that provide a watertight fit. There's no mess, no demolition, and they get it done in as little as 1 day. Plus, they provide a lifetime guarantee. Thanks to Bath Fitter, I have a bathtub I love.
Call today or learn more at bathfitter.com.
I've seen such a change in Einstein since he started eating Beneful. The #1 ingredient in it is beef.
The beef was fantastic.
He has enough energy to believe that he can jump high enough to catch a bird.
And now try new Beneful grain-free, simply made with wholesome ingredients and no grain.
Welcome back. New tornado warning to tell you about now in southeastern Iowa. This is Jefferson, Keokuk, and Washington counties under warning until 4:30 Central Time. The motion is north at 45 miles per hour. Very small little cell, but we're seeing a tight little rotation showing up right in there, looking up pretty high, unfortunately. So this is just basically where the mid-level spin is. But again, that's a very tight spin that we're seeing there, showing up now south of 78, and it's going to move up in areas just west of Richland, probably coming into Packwood in the next few minutes here. Please get to your safe place right now, and then Ollie at 3:49. We'll also see if there's any evidence of debris at this time. Not seeing anything that is clear cut. There are some lower values there, so we might be looking at some debris, but again, we're shooting fairly far up, and so that debris would have to be lofted well up into the sky in this case. But again, that is a tight circulation that we're looking at. So Packwood and Ollie, please get to your safe place as a possible tornado is coming your way. Chris, over to you.
And we certainly did see tornadoes and possible tornadoes yesterday, Carl. Some video into the Weather Channel we're going to share with you right now near McLean, Texas, courtesy of K4. It looks like you can see it really even developing right there as we're going to watch the funnel. Pretty thin down here, a little bit fatter at the top, and it looks like the base of the funnel or the bottom of the funnel was connected at least for a short time there, according to this video, and that would be the definition of a tornado, a thunderstorm with the funnel and having it connected there to the ground. Something else I think is worth noting is the movement of the clouds here. Trying to see if there's any type of maybe circulation with some of the clouds going this way. It's hard to tell, but you can usually, and look at that. See how it was thin for a while, then got pretty thick? That's pretty impressive. Then it's starting to lift a little bit. And even if you don't see it necessarily connected all the way to the ground, and then there it is again. You could watch this all day, as a matter of fact. But even if you lose it right there, the side of the condensation, as long as there's spin, if there's movement down here, you'd still have yourself a tornado. And kind of seeing that rotation up here as well, potentially with the meso part of the storm. But certainly backlit tornado right there, an impressive sight indeed. And unfortunately, some of this did hit some towns. And this is a look at Elk City, Oklahoma. Roof damage right here. Roof pretty much gone right there. And then these roofs don't look like they were touched. This was another example of when there was heavy damage, and this one part of a roof. Then you go other parts of the neighborhood. This had more stuff thrown into it, it looks like, than it had roofs ripped off, maybe a little bit right there. And this is always unfortunate when you look down onto someone's home that the day before had a roof on it, and today ripped apart completely. And it looks like these cars were in the garage, it appears, right there.
Chris, you noted something before that these tornadoes can actually kind of hop around, and so there'll be some homes that are completely damaged, but then right across the street they're fine. Perfectly fine.
And it shows you just and you looked at the actual tornado itself, the one video we just looked at. They can be rather small storms, but have far-reaching impacts on one side of the street and not so much on the other side, depending on where the strongest of the winds actually are. So unfortunately, this is something that we do see quite often with tornadoes. And Liana, there is that tornado threat again this evening.
It is, and it continues. We actually just recently, the SBC actually just brought in another tornado watch for Wisconsin. So this is in effect until 11 p.m. Central Time, and it encompasses several states all the way down to Illinois, Iowa, Minnesota, we're seeing this threat continue. And we're already seeing storms pop up. Check this out. We're seeing tornado warnings as well as severe thunderstorm warnings currently in effect. This tornado warning right here just in Minnesota, that's for the counties of Blue Earth, including the cities of Good Thunder. And that's in effect until 4:15 p.m. Central Time. It'll be traveling and lifting up towards the north as this system continues to rotate around. And this is not an unfamiliar sight for many spots. We can expect very gusty winds associated with these warnings, 60 to 70, even 80-mile-per-hour winds that could do extreme damage. We have tornado warnings a little bit further south as well. We'll update you after the break.
Not gonna happen.
That's it. I'm calling Kohler about their walk-in bath.
My name is Ken. How may I help you?
Hi, I'm calling about Kohler's walk-in bath.
Excellent. Happy to help. Huh? Hold one moment, please. The Kohler walk-in bath features an extra wide opening and a low step-in at 3 inches, which is 25 to 60% lower than some leading competitors. The bath fills and drains quickly, while the heated seat soothes your back, neck, and shoulders. Kohler is an expert in bathing, so you can count on a deep soaking experience.
Are you seeing this?
The Kohler walk-in bath comes with fully adjustable hydrotherapy jets and our exclusive bubble massage. Everything is installed in as little as a day by a Kohler certified installer. And it's made by Kohler, America's leading plumbing brand.
We need this bath.
Yes. Yes, you do. A Kohler walk-in bath provides independence with peace of mind. Call 1-800-574-1372 and ask about saving $1,000 on your walk-in bath. Or visit KohlerWalkinBath.com for more info.
There's an opportunity in every window. A view connecting in here to an entire world of out there. So start your day opening the window to your weather with AMHQ. Watch Jim Cantori, Stephanie Abrams, and Jen Carfagno looking out at the stories and the science behind your forecast. Open up your mornings with AMHQ on the Weather Channel.
A wind advisory is in effect. Currently in our area, 76 degrees under cloudy skies with windy conditions. Tonight, mainly clear skies, low 55. Thursday, partly cloudy, chance of a thunderstorm, high 79, chance of rain 30%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
It's not just a car, it's your daily retreat. Go ahead, spoil yourself. The ES and ES Hybrid. Experience amazing.
Liberty Mutual stood with me when this guy got a flat tire in the middle of the night.
Hold on, Dad. Liberty did what?
Yeah, Liberty Mutual 24-hour roadside assistance helped him to fix his flat so he could get home safely.
My dad says our insurance doesn't have that. Don't worry, I know what a lug wrench is, Dad. Is this a lug wrench?
Maybe.
You can leave worry behind when Liberty stands with you. Liberty stands with you. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Meta Appetite Control. It's your glass of willpower that helps keep cravings far, far away. Feel less hungry with the natural fiber and clinically proven Meta Appetite Control from Metamucil.
Coppertone Sport versus the sun. Coppertone Sport stays on strong when you sweat and is strong enough to stop up to 98% of the sun's damaging UV rays. Coppertone, because protection matters.
Your brain is an amazing thing, but as you get older, it naturally begins to change, causing a lack of sharpness or even trouble with recall. Thankfully, the breakthrough in Prevagen helps your brain and actually improves memory. The secret is an ingredient originally discovered in jellyfish. In clinical trials, Prevagen has been shown to improve short-term memory. Prevagen, the name to remember.
Remember that personal problem you were having last year? I'm having it now, too.
Are you talking about hair loss?
Yeah. But your hair looks great now. What did you do?
Oh, let me show you. Check this out.
Did you know more than 30 million women in the U.S. suffer from thinning hair or hair loss? That's why Keranique is releasing more risk-free trials this week of their proven hair regrowth system. The system contains a treatment with the only FDA-approved ingredient clinically proven to regrow women's hair, effectively fighting hair loss. Now you can enjoy fuller hair with incredible volume, strength, and thickness. To get one of these risk-free trials while this offer lasts, call 1-800-989-5289.
Thanks. You're a lifesaver. I'll give it a try.
You totally should.
Get your risk-free trial of Keranique now. Call 1-800-989-5289. Hurry, this offer may not last forever. Call 1-800-989-5289.
101 Dalmatians, good. And 101 degrees, bad.
Weather Underground, weeknights at 6.
Welcome back. Another number of tornado warnings to tell you about right now across southern Minnesota and southeastern Illinois. And first of all, Iowa. And first of all, into southern Minnesota. This is not very far away from Mankato. Tornado warning for Blue Earth County going until 4:15. This is lifting along towards the north here, looking at the southwest side of that cell. Not seeing as much really standing out here, not the way that it was a few moments ago. Right in there, you could very clearly see that there was a strong rotation showing up. That was south of Good Thunder. It's become a little more diffuse in the most recent scan. Nonetheless, dangerous storm coming up towards Rapidian there and Route 66 as well. You want to get to your safe place in those areas as that moves along to the north. And then in southeastern Iowa, a couple of different tornado warnings here. This is Henry, Jefferson, Washington counties under warning until 4:30. Let's take a look at the latest on that storm. Unfortunately, this is not in a really good spot for radar, but we are getting a look at where the rotation is right in here, and that is now just south of Birmingham. In fact, that even looks like a pretty strong rotation showing up there near Birmingham. So right on the southwest side of that cell there, that's where we've got possible tornado, and that's going to be lifting up and across Route 1 and coming into areas near Birmingham. So please get to your safe place there as well. Also another tornado warning to the northwest of that. That's Jefferson, Keokuk, and Washington counties under warning, and that is going until the top of the hour there. Now, as we take a look at the larger picture, you've got very strong low-level winds now coming up into Iowa. So a lot of these storms are going to begin to rotate, and that also helps to drive the severe threat here in terms of straight-line wind. We've got a big line segment that has developed in the south-central part of the state. Clark, Lucas, Wayne counties under warning until 4:30. Also warning now that is right into Des Moines. That's Adair, Dallas, and Guthrie counties under warning. And another thing that we can use the velocity data for is to see where the very strong wind is. That area of blue right there is exceptionally strong straight line wind, 60-mile-per-hour wind or maybe stronger, and that's now going to make its way to the north and up towards Des Moines, likely moving into Des Moines at about 4:41. We'll have more on that coming up.
This is another one of the threats. Other cars and some wet roads can force someone to hydroplane, and this happened in Oklahoma yesterday. It's in the western part of the state. Yeah, it's in slow motion, and you can see what happened here. The car going in the other bound direction, going the other way, slid off the road, slid across the grass. Unfortunately, that fence there, those cable fences that they'll put up as barriers sometimes, it looks like it may have saved whoever was driving this car that was shooting the video. It may have saved their life, Liana.
Yeah, and I mean, Ryan mentioned earlier how steady and straight that driver continued to drive, even after the mud hit their windshield.
Which tells me that perhaps the driver, because they didn't even flinch, maybe that their eyes were somewhere else, and the camera was picking up something that the human eye wasn't seeing, because looking at the visibility or lack thereof, I know personally with my white knuckles on the steering wheel, I would be looking for tail lights straight ahead, not necessarily off to the left.
Exactly, and I mean, it looks like the car actually stayed a little bit further, well, it actually kind of got pretty dangerously close to the car as it moved in. It looks almost like it stayed on the median as it, see right there, it stays kind of on the median and then it moves onto the road. So it looks like that car, as they were driving, they just kind of, they didn't really notice it, like you said.
Yeah, it just seems like scary stuff, though. That could have turned out much, much worse with all the mud and everything on there. Shows you just how close it was. Let's take a look at another piece of video here. This looks like it may be the end. It's roping out. Like you just heard that, roping out. That's often what people will say at the end of the life cycle of a tornado. This was near the Texas Panhandle town of McLean. This was about 75 miles east of Amarillo along Interstate 40. And if you're watching us here on the Weather Channel, we were tracking these storms here live yesterday as it was unfolding.
Yeah, and I mean, even as it starts dissipating, you can see it was still touching the ground right there, but then it started kind of shearing, roping out, like they said. And you can even see the clouds kind of scattering out and kind of just
clouds, kind of fragmented clouds that really don't fit into a category.
Yeah, so you can definitely see more of that. Unfortunately, more scenes like this are going to continue as we get through the next 24 hours, and it continues into the weekend.
In just a little bit more than a minute, there are several warnings we're tracking right now, several severe thunderstorm warnings and tornado warnings. We'll have the very latest for you coming up right after this.
A wind advisory is in effect. Currently in our area, 77 degrees under cloudy skies with windy conditions. Tonight, mainly clear skies, low 55. Thursday, partly cloudy, chance of a thunderstorm, high 79, chance of rain 30%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Breaking right now, we are right in the middle of severe weather coverage here at the Weather Channel. In the lab, I'm meteorologist Chris Warren.
And I'm meteorologist Liana Brackett. Severe weather continues to threaten parts of the Midwest right now after a tornado outbreak. And so we're going to bring in severe weather expert Carl Parker right now and get your feedback on everything that you're seeing.
Whole slew of tornado warnings right now, and this is what we expected because the shear fields are so strong across a lot of this region. So let's take a look at where these warnings are right now. And into southeastern Iowa, got a tornado warning to tell you about not very far away from Burlington. That is Des Moines, Henry, and Lee counties under warning until 4:45. Strong rotation showing up here. We're looking up pretty high up in the storm, but right in there, that's now coming towards Route 218, and it's working off to the northeast of 45 miles per hour. So let's take that to the northeast, see where that's going to be headed. That's going to be coming into Houghton at 406, St. John's School as well. So please get to your safe place anywhere near those locations and across Route 218. Then another tornado warning off to the northwest of that. That's Henry, Jefferson, and Washington counties under warning until 4:30. Looking at a sort of a broader circulation near Birmingham in that area. That's generally coming up towards Route 34. And again, moving off towards the northeast here, be coming across 34 near Lockridge in the next few minutes. And so you want to get to your safe place there near Bethesda Church and New Sweden Baptist Church as well. That's going to be moving in about 12 to 15 minutes. Then to the northwest of that, two different cells here, Jefferson, Keokuk, and Washington counties under warning until 4:30. Again, we're looking pretty far up in the storm, unfortunately, so it's difficult to get a good sense of exactly what's going on with the character of this storm, but certainly there's potential rotation on the southwest side there as that is moving off to the north, and that's going to be coming up west of Richland near Pekin Community School 405, Ollie 412, and Ollie Baptist Church at the same time at around 412. So very dangerous storms here. Certainly they're in an environment where you've got a lot of low-level wind shear, very strong low-level winds from the surface to 5,000 feet. And in that environment, storms do rotate a lot more easily. But it's not just in Iowa. We're also now watching southern parts of Minnesota. A couple of new tornado warnings to tell you about here as well. One of those now just to the east of 35, that's Steele County under warning. That's going until 4:30. Let's take a look at what's going on inside that storm there. And seeing some rotation that is now on the southwest side here, right in here, more of a shear line actually, but maybe a little more rotation right in there, coming right into Route 14 and lifting off to the northeast. And that's going to be moving towards a power plant here in very short order, then Havana as well, very short order, and Merton at about 4:09. Then to the west of that, another tornado warning in effect for Blue Earth County. That is going until 4:15. And here we're looking at a pretty strong circulation right there near Buford, just west of Buford. So right here is where we're seeing the rotation. And that now is generally headed towards Mankato. So heads up there in Mankato. If this thing holds together, it's going to be getting up into your area. So moving into Skyline at 4:12 and Mankato at about 4:14. Possible tornado coming your way, moving to the north now at about 40 miles per hour. I want to take you farther south and look at a big line segment that's now developing near Des Moines. Got a severe warning here, and that is for Clark, Lucas, and Wayne counties until 4:30. Also severe warning for Adair, Dallas, and Guthrie counties until 4:30. We're seeing some really strong wind showing up, and this is when we're getting this close to the radar and we're seeing a signature like that, you know that this means exceptionally strong straight line wind. A lot of times you'll see the signature begin to weaken a little bit as it's getting lower to the ground, and the winds tend to be stronger off the ground. But that's a very strong signature for straight line wind that is very close to the radar. So 60, maybe 70 mile per hour wind coming right towards Des Moines, and that's going to be getting into Des Moines at about 4:31, Adel 4:09, Waukee at 4:19, and Altoona at about 4:48. Again, exceptionally strong straight line wind, the threat with that particular storm. And so outlining the area of concern today, you've got a very large area for severe weather across the Midwest, parts of Iowa, northern Missouri, into northern Illinois, into the western lakes. And then within that, there is this tornado threat that's really centered on Iowa. So we've got a 5 out of 10 on the Torcon in central Iowa, but also a 4 out of 10 on the Torcon into northern parts of Missouri and north central Illinois. We could be looking at some supercells developing across the north central part of Illinois into this evening, and also a 4 out of 10 for all of Wisconsin and southeastern Minnesota. We want you to know that this threat is going to continue for quite some time, well after dark. Here's the high-resolution model showing you some discrete cells there in eastern Iowa coming up into Illinois, even into 9 o'clock tonight, some discrete cells in north central parts of Illinois. So certainly not going to see this threat dying down after the sun goes down here, Chris.
You mentioned this earlier. Will you explain to everybody the importance or the dangers with discrete cells as opposed to the other types of tornadoes that we can see?
Yeah, you know, oftentimes when you have a line of storms, you tend to see more of a damaging wind threat. These are storms that are firing along the leading edge of the cool air that they put out. And with a line of storms, you tend to get more straight line wind. But with discrete cells, they can more easily tap into the changing winds at different levels and more easily develop and acquire rotation. That's exactly what we saw yesterday looking at the satellite picture in Texas. We saw how the entire updraft was just rotating, feeding on these different winds coming in at different speeds and different levels.
Okay, fair to say you think that it's sort of like they get all of the ingredients. They get all the best ingredients for themselves.
Exactly right. They get it all for themselves.
Getting moisture from every direction, the wind's going, it's the whole deal.
Unimpeded in many regards.
And it's still possible after dark too, which is extremely dangerous.
Yes, it is, no doubt.
All right, Storm Specialist Carl Parker, thank you very much. We appreciate that. And we'll take a closer look at some city-specific timing, including Des Moines, Iowa, where it's a 5 out of 10, 50% chance of a tornado. Peoria, Illinois, 4 out of 10. 4 out of 10 also for Madison, Wisconsin. Again, that's a 40% chance of a tornado within a 50-mile radius of those cities. And here's Cedar Rapids, Iowa, also the Quad Cities here. We're looking through the next several hours. Chance for some storms and then another chance. So it's possible we're going to see multiple rounds as this area of low pressure moves through different bands, different pieces of energy associated with this area of low pressure before things start to calm late tonight. But even in in Des Moines, before that sun goes down, there's going to be a chance for some thunderstorms. Here's a look at Des Moines. A threat for storms, again, potential for a couple rounds early on this evening and then possibly north of town before midnight. A lot to get to here on Weather Center Live. We're just getting started with this hour. We'll be right back.
With Scotch Blue Platinum Painter's Tape, you can prep any angle quicker and easier. 3M's advanced poly material helps stop paint seepage, and it's easy to remove in one long pull, so you can pull off a better paint job. Scotch Blue Platinum Painter's Tape.
When you've been making delicious natural cheese for over 100 years like Kraft has, you'll learn a lot about what people want.
Honey, do we have like a super creamy cheese with taco spice already in it? Oh, thanks.
Bon appetit.
Okay.
For sale, Lakeside Getaway, solid construction, with mudroom. For $200, no mortgage necessary. Cabela's West Wind Dome Tent. Great price. Lifetime guarantee. Only at Cabela's.
Come boys, let's go. Buddy, leave the car, leave it. Have we got everyone?
The all-new Discovery. Land Rover, above and beyond.
Gentlemen, Beggin' Skinny Strips or Beggin' Black Label?
This too?
Now this is the delicious dilemma. Introducing new Beggin' Strips Premium Edition. With real meat as ingredient one. Everything to your liking. New Beggin' Strips Premium.
Because Beggin'!
Hey, here comes a last-minute suggestion.
Yeah, I'll pretend to write it down and then I'm gonna circle it.
Great.
Wouldn't it be great if everyone said what they meant? The Citi Double Cash Card does. Earn 1% cash back when you buy and 1% as you pay. Double means double.
There's an opportunity in every window. So start your day opening the window to your weather with Jim Cantori, Stephanie Abrams, and Jen Carfagno looking out at the stories and the science behind your forecast. Open up your mornings with AMHQ on the Weather Channel.
A wind advisory is in effect. Currently in our area, 77 degrees under cloudy skies with windy conditions. Tonight, mainly clear skies, low 55. Thursday, partly cloudy, chance of a thunderstorm, high 79, chance of rain 30%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Wish we got snow days, but I guess
well,
we kind of the
kind of our
opposite.
job.
Yeah.
To be here.
Weather Underground, weeknights at 6 on the Weather Channel.
We nailed it.
Mom, Dad, we need to talk. In case you haven't noticed, things have changed. I'm not the same person I used to be.
I think it's time we take things to the next level.
Kids grow up. So do vacations. 3 theme parks. 5 resort hotels.
I'm ready.
Are you?
Universal Orlando Resort.
What are you doing?
Watching this Breast Savers Protect Mint neutralize the plaque acids in my mouth.
I can't see anything.
That's because it's working so hard.
Hey, what are you guys doing?
Karen, we're neutralizing.
Maybe I want to neutralize. You ever think of that?
Hey, need fast heartburn relief? Try Cool Mint Zantac. It releases a cooling sensation in your mouth and throat. Zantac works in as little as 30 minutes. Nexium can take 24 hours. Try Cool Mint Zantac. No pill relieves heartburn faster.
Think good things only come in threes? Introducing the Outback Aussie 4. Soup and salad, centre-cut sirloin and dessert. A 4-course meal starting at just $14.99. The Outback Aussie 4-course is a big win. But hurry in, it's not forever.
Welcome back to our coverage of severe weather. We're following tornado warnings now in Minnesota and Iowa. And let's go into southern Minnesota. First of all, this is near Mankato and generally heading towards Mankato as well. This is a tornado warning for Blue Earth County, where a funnel cloud has been spotted. That's going until 4:15. Taking a look at the velocity data right in there. The signature not quite as pronounced as it was in the last scan. Right there, we're seeing a very strong circulation. And just in the most recent scan, it appears to have loosened up perhaps just a little bit. Still a very dangerous storm, and that is generally headed towards Mankato. I'm going to outline this area here, this sort of broader area, as that moves to the north, and that'll be coming into Mankato at about 4:23, North Mankato at 4:25, Blakesley Stadium at 4:20. If you're near any of those areas, please get to your safe place. Possible tornado coming your way. Also, another warning here for Steele County. This is going until 4:30. We'll look at the velocity data in this case. Nothing that is really profound here, but we do have a supercell that is capable of producing a tornado. And let's zoom in a little bit and get a better look at where that might be headed. And that's generally coming up towards Route 60. So I'll outline this area where we could be looking at a possible tornado. And as that moves off to the north, that's going to come towards Richland here at about 4:18. So please take cover there near Richland. Now into southeastern Iowa, bunch of warnings here. This is not surprising. There's a lot of shear in the low levels of the atmosphere. That's Appanoose and Monroe counties under warning. And look at the signature here. We're not getting great coverage, and this is a pretty good long ways from any of the radars. But that's a strong signature, so that's a very robust rotation that's showing up in the low to mid-level of the cloud. And let's take that forward and see where that's going to be moving. Right across Route 5 there, moving towards Blue Front School and Moravia at 4:19. Albia Municipal at 4:29, Albia at 4:30. Very strong rotation showing up with that storm. Possible tornado there. And looks like actually some debris as well, perhaps being lofted that high. A lot of times we get a much better idea of it when we see the picture closer to the ground, but certainly there are some lowered values there, so we may be looking at some debris in that case. So Moravia, please get to your safe places. You've got a possible tornado coming your way. Then also to the east here, Des Moines, Henry, Louisa counties under warning. That's near Houghton, and that storm is coming up right past Route 218 right now. Looks like a large hail threat as well, which is what you would expect with a storm like this. Tornado possible on the southwest side right in here, and let's outline that and see where that's going to be headed in the next few minutes. It's going to come right across 218 along with that large hail threat, moving towards Salem Elementary School in the next few minutes. Mount Pleasant Municipal 4:24, Pleasant Lawn School at 4:31. Also now tornado warning to the west of that, Henry, Jefferson, and Washington counties. That is going until 4:30. We'll look at what's happening with the rotation in this storm, and we're seeing it right in there near Lock Ridge. And so a little notch there now moving off towards the northeast, and I'm going to actually outline this area. There could be a couple of different spots actually where we could be looking at a tornado. There are a couple of different areas of rotation. There's one right in here that's moving towards Coppock and Walnut School, and then another one right in there, and that's moving towards Brighton and Walnut School. So again, you want to watch out for a possible tornado in those spots. So we've got a lot going on today. We've got a very active day today. We're looking at a 5 out of 10 on the Torcon. Tornado watches now extend from parts of central Wisconsin down into northern Illinois and right down into Iowa and northern Missouri.
You know, when your mom and I first started dating, it was the easy...
Not helping. It just really hurts.
When someone breaks their heart, be soft.
Yeah, I know.
When that breaks yours, be strong.
You're lucky. Man, when I was your age, the only girl who would talk to me was Grandma.
Life takes softness and strength.
I had no game, son.
Which is why we make Angel Soft with a balance of both.
It's what stands between the world and your eyes. A protective layer thinner than a human hair that keeps moisture in. This lipid layer can break down and cause dry eyes. That's why there's Soothe XP from the eye care experts at Bausch & Lomb. Only Soothe XP contains Restoral mineral oils. Soothe XP helps restore this layer, sealing moisture and protect against further irritation. Ordinary drops can't do that.
Soothe XP works for my dry eyes.
Soothe XP, extra protection for dry eyes.
Wet Willie's what they called him on the street. Rogue hoses, rain, and juicy llamas. Soaked his pants waist to feet. Duluth Dry on the Fly pants saved the day. All that water got wicked right away. He goes by Bill today. Duluth Dry on the Fly pants. Unwet your pants. Get a pair. Only at DuluthTrading.com.
Liberty Mutual stood with us when a fire destroyed the living room. We were able to replace everything in it.
Liberty did what? Liberty Mutual paid to replace all our property that was damaged.
And we didn't have to touch our savings.
Yeah, our insurance won't do that.
Huh. There goes my boat.
You can leave worry behind when Liberty stands with you. Liberty stands with you. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Will you be ready when the moment turns romantic? Cialis for daily use treats ED and the urinary symptoms of BPH. Tell your doctor about your medicines and ask if your heart is healthy enough for sex. Do not take Cialis if you take nitrates for chest pain or Adempas for pulmonary hypertension, as this may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Do not drink alcohol in excess. To avoid long-term injury, get medical help right away for an erection lasting more than 4 hours. If you have a sudden decrease or loss of hearing or vision or an allergic reaction, stop taking Cialis and get medical help right away. Ask your doctor about Cialis.
There's an opportunity in every window. So start your day opening the window to your weather with Jim Cantori, Stephanie Abrams, and Jen Carfagno, looking out at the stories and the science behind your forecast. Open up your mornings with AMHQ on the Weather Channel.
Attention those implanted with a hernia surgical mesh. If you have had hernia repair surgery with mesh reinforcement, listen closely. Some have experienced infection, chronic pain, mesh failure, and other complications after being implanted with a hernia mesh device. Because of this, some of these mesh devices have been recalled by the FDA, but devices are still being used and may cause serious complications. If you or a loved one have had hernia repair surgery with mesh reinforcement and suffered infection, chronic pain, mesh migration, mesh failure, organ damage, or needed additional surgery, call the Rely On Group right now. You may be eligible to receive a cash award and compensation for your medical expenses. If you or a loved one have experienced any of these issues after the implantation of a physio mesh or a selection of other common hernia meshes, your voice deserves to be heard. Call the Rely On Group to be connected with a personal injury attorney for a free consultation. Call 800-953-1744.
Carl's going to the chalkboard to teach us something here, and this is going to be fun stuff.
Weather Underground, weeknights at 6 on the Weather Channel.
A wind advisory is in effect. Currently in our area, 78 degrees under partly cloudy skies with windy conditions. Tonight, mainly clear and windy. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. Low 55. Thursday, some clouds and possibly an isolated thunderstorm in the afternoon. High 79. Thursday night, thunderstorms likely. Low 59. Here's our 7-day outlook.
A tornado alert and severe weather alert right now on the Weather Channel. You're watching Weather Center Live. Several severe thunderstorm warning and tornado warnings across several states here in the Midwest, including parts of Minnesota, parts of Wisconsin, the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, and a lot going on right now in Iowa.
Absolutely. I mean, we're going to zoom in here first on Minnesota, where we have a tornado warning in effect for parts of Blue Earth and Nicollet counties, including the cities of Lime, Mankato, and North Mankato. That's in effect until 4:30 p.m. Central Time. So if you're anywhere in this vicinity, you need to take cover now, because these storms are moving fairly quickly as we continue to watch them continue to brew and bubble up through this afternoon.
And here's another look at that tornado warning, currently in effect until 4:30. But once the tornado warning expires, that does not mean the threat is over, especially when we consider the area that we're dealing with. Several potential opportunities for some strong storms. Here's the timing for some of the cities that Liliana was just talking about associated with this tornado warned storm. And to each side of it, you can see severe weather is also firing up with severe thunderstorm warnings currently in effect right along Highway 14 and over and into Interstate 35. Heading a little bit farther to the south, here's Iowa, and there's several tornado warnings right now. And for parts of a couple counties here, Appaloosa and Monroe counties, until 4:45. Some of the cities potentially impacted by this tornado is indicated right here on the screen, and some of the specific locations as well. A couple schools and a church here. And notice also off to the right, there are more tornado warnings as well, Liana.
Yeah, and these storms are moving really fairly quickly. They're moving at about 50 to 60 miles per hour, and they're chugging away, so they can hit pretty quickly. So, I mean, this tornado warning right here, it's in effect until 4:30 p.m. Central Time for the parts of Henry counties. And here's the timeline of where we can actually expect that tornado to reach Washington Municipal, and that it's expected to reach 426, 427 Orthopedic Clinic, and Washington at 428, and Highland School just a few minutes after that.
And here in parts of Des Moines, Henry, and Louisa counties, including Mount Pleasant, New London, and Winfield, this tornado warning is in effect until 4:45. And looking a little bit closer, right now, bad idea to be on the roads right along Highway 34 there. It's starting to move out of Mount Pleasant, and Ryan's circling the bottom part of the hail spike. So based on the way, there's the radar right there. The way things work, the way the return comes back from the radar actually thinks that there's rain coming back in the back, but actually it's just because of interference because of the hail there. And there's a look at some of the large hail being reported, larger than 2 inches here, associated with this strong storm that also has some rotation associated with it. When you see the red and the green really close together, winds going in different directions, likely some rotation. That's where the possible tornado could be.
And we're getting plenty of reports of wind damage associated with these. Even if you did not see the tornado, you probably felt the impacts of the wind in that vicinity. And we're getting reports of shingles removed off of homes, trees down, power lines down. You need to make sure you are weather aware as this threat continues into this afternoon and evening.
Direct from our imagination, the Civic. Get a great deal on KBB.com's best overall buy for 2017.
With Scotch Blue Platinum Painter's Tape, you can prep any angle quicker and easier. 3M's advanced poly material helps stop paint seepage, and it's easy to remove in one long pull, so you can pull off a better paint job. Scotch Blue Platinum Painter's Tape.
If you have moderate to severe rheumatoid arthritis like me, and you're talking to your rheumatologist about a medication, this is Humira. This is Humira helping to relieve my pain and protect my joints from further damage. Humira has been clinically studied for over 18 years. Humira works by targeting and helping to block a specific source of inflammation that contributes to RA symptoms. It's proven to help relieve pain and stop further joint damage in many adults.
Humira can lower your ability to fight infections, including tuberculosis. Serious, sometimes fatal infections and cancers, including lymphoma, have happened, as have blood, liver, and nervous system problems, serious allergic reactions, and new or worsening heart failure. Before treatment, get tested for TB. Tell your doctor if you've been to areas where certain fungal infections are common, and if you've had TB. Hepatitis B, are prone to infections, or have flu-like symptoms or sores. Don't start Humira if you have an infection.
Talk to your doctor and visit Humira.com. This is Humira at work.
I love you, couch. You give us comfort, and we give you bare feet, back sweat, and Gordo's. Everything. I love you, but sometimes you stink. New Febreze Fabric Refresher with Odor Clear technology cleans away odors like never before. Because the things you love the most can stink. And plug in Febreze to keep your whole room fresh for up to 45 days. Breathe happy with new Febreze.
When you're out in the field, out in the elements, I think it's the greatest thing in the whole world.
It is a cool moment to kind of strap on the blue jacket and head into the snow or to torrential downpours.
Out there in the worst of the weather, we use LL Bean gear. That keeps us warm and that keeps us dry.
I'm beyond proud to put on that blue jacket and be part of the Weather Channel.
Regardless of what's going to happen, weather-wise, people want us there to take them through it. I've always been proud to wear that jacket.
LL Bean, official outfitter of the Weather Channel.
I've seen such a change in Einstein since he started eating Beneful. The #1 ingredient in it is beef.
The beef was fantastic.
He has enough energy to believe that he can jump high enough to catch a bird.
And now try new Beneful grain-free, simply made with wholesome ingredients and no grain.
At Panera, a salad is so much more than one thing. More than one flavor or texture or color. A good, clean salad is so much more than green. And with Panera Catering, more for your event. Panera, food as it should be.
There's an opportunity in every window. So start your day opening the window to your weather with Jim Cantori, Stephanie Abrams, and Jen Carfagno looking out at the stories and the science behind your forecast. Open up your mornings with AMHQ on the Weather Channel.
A wind advisory is in effect. Currently in our area, 78 degrees under partly cloudy skies with windy conditions. Tonight, mainly clear and windy. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. Low 55. Thursday, some clouds and possibly an isolated thunderstorm in the afternoon. High 79. Thursday night, thunderstorms likely. Low 59. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Closed captioning brought to you by IBGuard.
My abdominal pain and bloating made daily life a guessing game. Will I have pain and bloating today? My doctor recommended IBGuard to manage my IBS. Take control. Ask your doctor about non-prescription IBGuard.
Thanks for staying with us for Weather Center Live. I'm Leona Brackett.
And I'm Chris Warren. Some strong storms threatening the Midwest right now, and there are active warnings, so we want to get right to it. Storm specialist Carl Parker working right up to the very last second, getting the very latest information. Carl.
Yeah, a lot of tornado warnings today, and that's not a big surprise because the wind shear is just so strong across a good part of the Midwest. And so let's take a look at these warnings. First of all, into southern parts of Minnesota, a whole string of severe thunderstorm warnings now across the southeast part of the state. And we've been looking at a tornado warning near Mankato. This is for Blue Earth and Nicollet counties going until 4:30. The motion on the cell is north at about 40 miles per hour. Got a little notch coming into Mankato right now, and so a possible tornado there. Now moving into Mankato, you want to take cover immediately there in Mankato. And as we look at the velocity data, it's not as pronounced as it once was, but still there is this potential for a tornado right in this area where you've got that little inflow notch there, and that's now lifting off to the north, getting over into North Mankato here in the next minute or so, into Benning at 4:32, and then moving towards Adolphus College there at 4:44. Then we'll take you off down into southeastern parts of Iowa. A couple of tornado warnings to tell you about here. One of those now just west of Ottumwa. That's Monroe County under warning. This is coming right across 34. Seeing a pretty pronounced signature. It's not quite as strong as it was moments ago, but we certainly are seeing a signature there, and that is now moving off to the northeast at 50 miles per hour. So we'll take that forward. northward. That's going to come up towards the intersection of 137 and I think that was 63, moving towards Eddyville School around 442. Please get to your safe place there. And again, that's right along Route 34 near Albia. Then to the east of that, another warning here for Des Moines, Henry, Louisa counties. That is going until 445. We'll zoom down and take a look at that storm. We're watching the little appendage there in the southwest side and certainly seeing some circulation there as well. I'm going to go back to the reflectivity mode. So the tornado likes to sit right in that area. And that is now moving northeast, and it's going to move right across Route 78 near Mount Union and Wapello, getting towards Wapello most likely at about 454. I'm going to move that just a little bit right into there. So going towards Mount Union 437, Morning Sun 446, and Wapello at 454. Possible tornado coming your way in those areas. And then we expand out, and what's happening here is you've got very strong low-level winds, surface winds and low-level winds coming out of the same direction, but the speed change is why a lot of these cells are rotating, and we're going to continue to see that threat right through this evening. Also want to take you into the central part of the state and look at this line segment that's been coming through Des Moines here, Boone, Polk, and Story counties, warning going until 5 o'clock. And take a look at what's been happening in the velocity data. So right now, very strong winds are showing up now just northeast of the radar site, and we were looking at winds over 80 miles per hour down to a few hundred feet approaching the radar site, and seeing similarly very strong velocities right now as well. That's going to be moving up past Huxley, getting into Huxley here in just the next few minutes. Cambridge 446, Ames at 459, Nevada at 504, and Roland at 520. And really you've got a much larger area, a huge area where you've got that sort of distinct line there is where you've got this damaging wind threat. I can outline this entire thing. We'll go right down along it, right through there, and take that northward. That'll be coming into Boone, into Colfax, into Ames as well, Story City 515, and State Center at 525. And as we were watching this approaching the radar site there in Des Moines, I'm going to go back just a couple of frames right in there. This is where we saw winds of 85 miles per hour at about 400 feet. So a terrific wind here, straight line wind, and certainly enough to cause some damage there in central parts of Illinois. So tornado watch is now up. Some of these going until 11 o'clock tonight, northern Illinois, as well as into Wisconsin. Got a very large area of potential severe weather and torque-on values that are significant, 5 out of 10 in central parts of Iowa. Also looking at a 4 out of 10 in southeastern parts of, northeastern parts of Missouri and northwest Illinois, and a 4 out of 10 in southeast Minnesota and also through much of Wisconsin. So this threat, Chris, may go for quite some time tonight. The model showing us, high-resolution model showing us discrete cell development well into the evening, maybe until 8, 9, 10 o'clock tonight.
Yeah, and it's possible some areas could get it more than once.
That's right. Absolutely.
All right, Carl, thank you so much for that. Let's take a live look right now. One of the areas that we'll watch for the potential, especially south of town, of some strong storms here in Minneapolis. So looking at one of the Twin Cities here, 63 degrees, and the forecast for Minneapolis, according to one of our future radars, one of the computers shows storms knocking on the door, and then through time, strong storms rolling through, and then here comes some more throughout this evening. The next few hours have the chance for a couple rounds of some storms in Minneapolis. And then as that area of low pressure moves off, you see kind of a change in the motion before that threat for storms moves out, or at least for rain moves out early tomorrow morning, around or just before daybreak. Today, here's the look at the torque-ons for a few cities here, including Des Moines, Iowa, which is a 5 out of 10. 4 out of 10 in Peoria, Illinois, Madison, Wisconsin, also a 4 out of 10. Looking at Davenport, Cedar Rapids, and Iowa City. Through the next few hours, again, another couple chances for some storms by about 9 or 10 o'clock. That low should be far enough away that we're dealing with just some leftover rain showers around this part of Iowa anyways. And a look at Madison, Wisconsin, also potentially several hours of some storms, hit and miss. Several hours, few different possible opportunities for storms And every day this week, Carl, it seems there's been opportunity for storms.
Yeah, and it's actually going to step up tomorrow, if you can believe that. We're thinking there's going to be a threat for strong and long track tornadoes in the western parts of Oklahoma, western Kansas, and also in West Texas tomorrow. Here's a look at the water vapor loop, and you see the first disturbance that's now coming up and into the Midwest. That's the one that's bringing us the severe threat tonight. And then you've got the second one that is now coming down across the Intermountain West. That is going to move out into the southern plains by tomorrow afternoon. And as it does so, we are going to see a terrific threat for strong storms, including long track tornadoes, very strong tornadoes. There's going to be exceptional instability right in this area out ahead of the dry line and the surface low. This is looking at tomorrow, 6 o'clock Central Time, and you've got this very strong wind coming in aloft, a lot of lift in the atmosphere, a lot of shear, very strong winds at several levels of the atmosphere that will be supportive of supercells that last for a long time, producing exceptionally large hail, and again, possibly some strong tornadoes. So this is a look at our forecast for tomorrow. It's really going to be centered on Oklahoma and Kansas. That's where we've got a 5 out of 10 on the Torcon for tomorrow afternoon. Also looking at a 4 out of 10 on the Torcon to the south into West Texas, and looking at a 4 out of 10 into eastern parts of Kansas for tomorrow. That severe threat then continuing into Friday as well, just a little bit farther along to the east. Liana, over to you.
All right, thanks, Carl. And just like Carl just showed us, Dallas, you are on the fringe of that red area where you can see tornadoes. And starting tomorrow night, we're seeing that threat for thunderstorms early in the evening. You get a little break on Friday, but then they return Friday night and continue into Saturday. So here's a look at the timeline for that severe threat from Wichita all the way down to San Angelo. We're seeing that severe threat. But again, this is a slow moving system, so the same spots are still under the gun as we get into Thursday night and again on Friday, except now we start seeing that storm system move a little bit further to the east, and now St. Louis, Kansas City, we start seeing you in the threat for those really gusty winds and possible tornadoes and large hail. By Saturday, things calm down. We see scattered thunderstorms stretching all the way from the Gulf Coast all the way up into the Great Lakes region, and so we can still expect a lot of rain. So with that said, from now through Saturday night, we're looking at 3 to 5 inches possible in those yellow spots. At least everyone's going to see at 1 inch, so potential flooding is very great.
A wind advisory is in effect. Currently in our area, 78 degrees under partly cloudy skies with windy conditions. Tonight, mainly clear and windy. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. Low 55. Thursday, some clouds and possibly an isolated thunderstorm in the afternoon. High 79. Thursday night, thunderstorms likely. Low 59. Here's our 7-day outlook.
There's nothing traditional about my small business. So when it comes to technology, I need someone that understands my unique needs. My Dell Small Business Advisor has gotten to know our business so well that it feels like he's a part of our team. With one phone call, he sets me up with tailored products and services. And when my advisor is focused on my tech, I can focus on my small business.
With Scotch Blue Platinum Painter's Tape, you can prep any angle quicker and easier. 3M's advanced poly material helps stop paint seepage, and it's easy to remove in one long pull, so you can pull off a better paint job. Scotch Blue Platinum Painter's Tape.
When you've been making delicious natural cheese for over 100 years like Kraft has, you learn a lot about people's tastes.
Honey, what do you want for dinner tonight?
Oh, whatever you're making.
Triple cheddar stuffed sliders.
Sold.
Spring is here, and so are the allergens and pollen that come with it. Lucky for those who suffer from asthma and allergies, there's Stanley Steamer. Call or go online for our $99 special.
Stanley Steamer, your certified cleaner.
Rise. It's a fast way to borrow. With cash in your account as soon as tomorrow. Helping you get back to what matters most. Visit risecredit.com today.
Crashing, hit a wall. Right now I need a miracle. Hurry now, I need a miracle.
The issues we care about can weigh on us.
I need it.
So lift the weight of caring by doing.
Yeah, I need you right now.
Visit statefarmsneighborhoodofgood.com to volunteer in your community.
It won't win a beauty contest. Might win a fishing contest. For $85, you can bring it all without spending it all. Cabela's Advanced Anglers Tackle Bag. Great price. Lifetime guarantee. Only at Cabela's.
Every truck guy has their own way of conveying powerful.
Yeah, boy. Kind of looks like a monster coming to eat you. Holy smokes.
That is awesome. Strong.
You got the basic and you got the beefy.
I just think it looks mean.
Incredible.
No way. Getting goosebumps.
It's the Chevy Memorial Day sales event. Find your tag and get over $9,300 total value on select Silverado crew cabs when you finance with GM Financial. Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer.
Pamper your feet with this at-home pedicure.
I don't have time for that. My feet get so dry and cracked, I need serious relief. That's why I use O'Keeffe's for Healthy Feet. Guaranteed relief for extremely dry, cracked feet. Thanks to O'Keeffe's, I got my feet back.
I want the most out of my health and life, so I trust Nature-Made vitamins. Because they were the first to be verified by USP for quality and purity standards, and because I recommend them as a pharmacist.
Nature-Made, the #1 pharmacist-recommended vitamin and supplement brand.
Welcome back to our coverage of ongoing tornado warnings now in Iowa, and we'll get down into areas just southwest of the Quad Cities. That's where one of the latest warnings is, and also now near Ottumwa, Iowa. This is Mahaska, Monroe, and Wapello counties. Warning going until 5:15. There are actually a couple of different circulations showing up in this area. One of them is now right near the intersection of Route 63 and 137, so it's right in there. And then a broader circulation now coming up towards Oskaloosa. Let's go ahead and time this first area out. That's the stronger circulation that's now going to come up and across 23 as well as 92. That'll be getting towards the Lake Keoma State Park Campground at 4:52 and Keoma Village at 4:53. And then again, you've got this broader circulation that is off to the north and west of that. That's now coming right into Oskaloosa, and it's going to be moving up towards Route 63 as well. So a couple of different areas where there's a possible tornado. And then off to the east of that, got another tornado warning. This is moving up into areas to the west of the Quad Cities. That is Louisa, Mercer, and Muscatine counties under warning until 5:30. We're looking at that little hook on the southwest side of the cell there that's coming towards Wapello. Certainly a large hail threat. That'll be moving into Grandview before very long. We can look at the velocity data, and noisy to be sure. We've been looking fairly far off in this case, but we can also just follow that hook there, that little inflow notch, and that's going to move up into Grandview. We'll be getting into Grandview maybe just before the top of the hour, then towards Fruitland at 5:05 and Muscatine Municipal also at 5:05. If you're near any of those areas, be aware. Large hail threat coming your way and a possible tornado coming your way as well. Now into the central part of the state, we've been watching this tremendous line segment come across Des Moines. That's Boone, Polk, and Story counties, Polk and Story counties under warning until 5 p.m. And right in here, that area of bright yellow and orange is where you got very strong wind. The velocities here just a few hundred feet off the ground, as high as 77 miles per hour. So you've got enough straight line wind to cause damage in and of itself, let alone what we've got with the tornado potential. And so that's coming into Nevada here at 4:49, Baxter 4:48, Story City 5:04, and State Center at 5:12. A large damaging wind potential, and the velocities have been as high as over 80 miles per hour in this case. Certainly enough wind to cause some damage as that moves to the northeast. Chris, over to you.
All right, Carver, take a look at some video into the Weather Channel of a tornado really forming here. As you look, you can see a thicker part of the funnel on the top, and then gets narrow at the bottom, and slowly it starts to fill in, almost as if it's getting weight from the storm above. But This starting to show. Then it goes away for a second there. Did you see that?
It is very common for tornadoes to do that. I mean, they kind of hop around a bit, and granted, this looks like a fairly rural area, but again, it looks like it's back on the ground right there, unless the video just restarted.
Yeah, I think maybe it jumped ahead.
Okay, it jumped ahead.
It's my guess. I don't know. That's what it looks like because we're seeing a different shape right now. So there you go. And then for a little while, it looks like it lifts up a little bit. Even though you see that gap in the condensation funnel, if there's circulation at the surface, you still technically have a tornado. That would be the circulation at the surface in association with a connection, which you can see here visually, with the parent thunderstorm. And these tornadoes have caused damage. We have seen that. And from the air, Liana, a lot of damage. And a lot of roofs either partially destroyed, completely destroyed, or some areas not touched at all. Look across the street. You mentioned that earlier, yeah.
Yeah, there are a couple homes right across the street where those tornadoes will kind of hop around, and it could be as little as the street or the house right across from you, where they can just be demolished, and the house right across from you can be completely safe. So here's a look at what's happening right now. We're looking at the tornado watch that is currently spanning over several states across the Midwest. This is in effect until 7 p.m. tonight Central Time, and in that has the highest potential of seeing a tornado. So anyone in these spots have a high chance of seeing a tornado within the area. Many interstates impacted. I-80, a huge artery, that's going to be impacted. So you need to make sure that you are aware as you plan on heading out the door, because they are starting right now and they will continue all the way through this evening. So we have a good several days, in fact, of those storms that will continue to brew. We do have current radar right now that are popping up with many warnings and advisories popping up. So stay tuned. Well, Woo TV is up next.
With Scotch Blue Platinum Painter's Tape, you can prep any angle quicker and easier. 3M's advanced poly material helps stop paint seepage, and it's easy to remove in one long pull, so you can pull off a better paint job. Scotch Blue Platinum Painter's Tape.
When my doctor told me I have age-related macular degeneration, AMD, he told me to look at this grid every day. And we came up with a plan to help reduce my risk of progression, including PreserVision AREDS 2. My doctor said PreserVision AREDS 2 has the exact nutrient formula the National Eye Institute recommends to help reduce the risk of progression of moderate to advanced AMD after 15 years of clinical studies. PreserVision AREDS 2, because my eyes are everything.
Please get to the lowest level.
We have a charge. We have a responsibility.
We have live team coverage tracking.
To provide information to people to help them stay safe.
This weather is affecting people and their relatives across the country.
Our team's taking you into the storm with live reports and expertise you won't get anywhere else.
We are scientists, we are meteorologists, and that makes a tremendous difference.
When it comes to a weather situation that warrants attention, we're the place to go. It's that simple. A wind advisory is in effect. Currently in our area, 78 degrees under partly cloudy skies with windy conditions. Tonight, mainly clear and windy. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. Low 55. Thursday, some clouds and possibly an isolated thunderstorm in the afternoon. High 79. Thursday night, thunderstorms likely. Low 59. Here's our 7-day outlook.
I assume this is going to break down on me mid-finale.
I'm going to pretend this is urgent and go hide over there.
Perfect.
Wouldn't it be great if everyone said what they meant? The Citi Double Cash Card does. Earn 1% cash back when you buy and 1% as you pay. Double means double.
If your underwear feels like this, get Buck Naked. Duluth Trading Buck Naked Underwear. The most comfortable underwear there is. At DuluthTrading.com. To err is human. To anticipate
is Lexus. Experience the Lexus RX with advanced safety. Standard. Experience amazing.
Dermatologists recommend Cetaphil for sensitive skin. It hydrates for 24 hours. Women recommend Cetaphil because of how it makes them feel. Healthy skin is Beautiful. Cetaphil.
When your windshield needs to be fixed, trust Safelite Auto Glass. Our exclusive TrueSeal technology means a strong, reliable bond. At Safelite, we stand behind our work because the ones you love sit behind it.
Safelite Repair, Safelite Replace.
Mom, Dad, hi. I had a very minor fender bender tonight in an unreasonably narrow fast food drive-thru lane. But what a powerful life lesson. And don't worry, I have everything handled. I already spoke to our Allstate agent, and I know that we have accident forgiveness, which is so smart on your guys' part. Like the fact that they'll just forgive you.
4 weeks without the car.
Okay, yep, good night.
With accident forgiveness, your rates won't go up just because of an accident. Switching to Allstate is worth it.
Hi, I'm Ty Pennington. There are all types of home loans for all types of people. FHA loans, jumbo loans, VA loans, condo loans, and many more. Choosing the right mortgage could save you thousands of dollars. Guaranteed Rate has helped over 500,000 happy customers find the right mortgage with low rates. Go to rate.com right now to try Guaranteed Rate's easy, intuitive loan finder. Just answer a series of simple questions about your specific mortgage needs, and the Intuitive Loan Finder's powerful decision engine will generate a customized list of the best loan products at the lowest rates for you. All in less than 60 seconds, and all for free. Guaranteed Rate is a top 10 national lender with over 95% customer satisfaction. So whether you're buying or refinancing your home, get a low rate from Guaranteed Rate today. Call 1-888-668-0066 or visit rate.com.
What makes me a weather geek, the fact that I love the weather, especially when it's hit me in the side of the face.
I'm gonna ride this one out, guys.
Be one of the thousands of weather geeks out there at weloveweather.tv.
Welcome back. We are following severe storms now in Iowa in particular. A couple of tornado warnings to tell you about. One of those is not very far away from Ottumwa, Iowa, in the southeast part of the state. That's a tornado warning in effect for Mahaska and Wapello counties going until 5:15. And what we're seeing now is more of a shear line. Looks like the storm is, as we say, gusting out. So right in there, you've got that shear line and some potential for tornado along with that. But certainly it does appear to be less than what it was earlier. Let's go ahead and take that forward anyway. That's going to go across Route 92, getting towards the Lake Kiuma State Park Campground, Kiuma Village, also Wymore Church and Old Rose Hill School. And then to the east of that, this is getting towards the Quad Cities there, Louisa, Mercer, Muscatine counties under warning until 5:30. This is very close to Wapello, and we're looking at that little notch there that is near Grandview. Also a large hail threat with that storm. Let's go ahead and take that forward, that part of the storm forward. That'll come right across 61 as it moves off to the northeast, actually sort of tracking along 61, moving into Grandview near the top of the hour, Fruitland 5:08, and Muscatine at 5:16. And not only looking at a tornado threat, but also a damaging wind threat today. And in fact, we've gotten several reports of winds gusting over 60 miles per hour in Des Moines. That's Boone, Polk, and Story counties under warning until 5 o'clock. New warning just off to the northeast. Hardin, Marshall, and Story counties under warning until the top of the hour. Look at the wind that is showing up in the velocity data right in there. This is exceptionally strong wind. That bright yellow color there, winds of over 70 miles per hour aloft, just a few hundred feet off the ground. And we'll take that forward and see where that's going to be moving. That's coming towards Hubbard and Marshalltown, getting into Marshalltown at 5:23, State Center at 4:57, Iowa Falls 5:39, and Gladbrook at 5:50. And in fact, we can get it a little bit tighter and get a look at some of these velocities. Now, you won't exactly see all of this making its way to the ground, but certainly it gives you an idea of what's available if there's heavy rain. Look at that, a velocity of 76 miles per hour there. And in addition, you've not only got a straight line wind threat, but we're seeing a little bit of turning right in there, right through there. So sometimes you can see little swirls developing on the leading edge, but mostly what we've got here is a damaging wind threat coming towards State Center and Ziering as that moves off towards the north and east. So tornado watches going until 11 o'clock tonight. There you see in northern parts of Illinois and Wisconsin. Looking at the model forecast, we expect to see some additional supercell development perhaps into northern Illinois through this evening, as well as into parts of eastern Iowa right around the Mississippi River, and also into western Wisconsin. All that lifting up very quickly off to the northeast and then really winding down late tonight. And then tomorrow, a significant severe threat just ahead of that area of surface low pressure and the dry line into Texas, Kansas, and into Oklahoma. And we're talking about a 5 out of 10 on the Torcon, and that is going to be centered in western Oklahoma and also in southwestern Kansas. Liana, over to you.
Some scary moments on the road here in Oklahoma. Look at that. It's bad enough driving in these conditions. And Ryan Davidson, our weather producer, made the comment, it doesn't even look like the driver flinched, as if they didn't even see it coming.
Exactly. I mean, what's remarkable is that they didn't even flinch even when the mud splattered. I mean, maybe they kind of gasped a little bit as they're driving, because that can happen, but still, they still didn't flinch whatsoever. And that's a lot of debris and mud and just...
There may have been a little veer over the line. However, as Ryan also just mentioned to me, it's safer to try to maintain your line, right? Because you don't know if you're doing a knee-jerk reaction if there's a car right next to you. Now, if that car were to make it through the barrier, across those cable kind of barriers that will divide highways sometimes, then you would definitely want to make evasive action.
Absolutely, and you have the potential of hydroplaning yourself if you are going to make some very quick reaction to that as well. So wise choice right there. We applaud you actually for maintaining a steady line as you continue to drive. So.
And who knows, because the visibility is so bad, who knows if the driver even saw it coming until it was too late to even do anything, because you got to be focused on the road when the visibility is so bad. You don't know if there's anybody going to be coming, you know, maybe stopped in the road ahead of you and the visibility is that bad, and maybe it was just the camera's view that made it apparent of what's going on. Absolutely.
I mean, we're seeing a lot of rain associated with these, so definitely something to look into as we get through the next 24 hours and the next several days. Woo TV is up next. Thanks so much for joining Chris, Carl, and I.
A wind advisory is in effect. Currently in our area, 79 degrees under sunny skies with windy conditions. Tonight, mainly clear and windy. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. Low 55. Thursday, some clouds and possibly an isolated thunderstorm in the afternoon. High 79. Thursday night, thunderstorms likely. Low 59. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Coming up tonight on Weather Underground.
Another round of dangerous storms happening right now with large hail, tornadoes, and destructive winds, all a major concern.
Find out who's at risk as this severe weather threat continues to unfold over the next several hours.
It was hard to see because the wind and rain was so thick. You couldn't even tell it was there until it was over with.
I'm very fortunate and very blessed and thankful that we got out.
Well, tonight's storms come on the heels of last night's deadly storms, with tornadoes leaving a swath of damage across 5 states.
And even as those hard-hit areas pick up the pieces, another potential severe outbreak threatens tomorrow. We'll show you who's in the bullseye once again.
Plus, bad weather usually means bad travel conditions, but what happens next in the video will make you cringe.
And if the record heat wasn't shocking enough, how about some record snow? We're going to explain how an amped up weather pattern fueling a snowstorm, a heat wave, and tornadoes all at the same time. Weather Underground starts right now. And thanks for joining us tonight on Weather Underground. I'm Mike Bettis.
And I'm Alex Wilson. We've got one day after a tornado outbreak struck the plains, maybe the day before a next severe outbreak. And we've got dangerous storms in the middle again this evening. We're timing out the threat right now, and we'll also tell you who needs to be on alert in coming days.
It's a lot of people, unfortunately, and some of us that were hit yesterday are going to be in that bullseye again today. Right now, we have 3 tornado watches in effect right now across Iowa, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Illinois, even portions of Missouri and Nebraska are under tornado watches tonight. And you see the expiration times, varying expiration times from 7 to 10 to 11 o'clock tonight.
Right, some of the areas that were hit hard by storms yesterday, once again at risk. Let's get out to the lab. Severe weather expert Dr. Greg Forbes joining us again this evening. Dr. Forbes, you know, it's got to be kind of a double whammy for these folks who just had the storms last night.
Yeah, it certainly is, especially places that are trying to do a cleanup and may not be paying attention to the weather, may not have power to make it easy to pay attention to weather. We've had at least 4 tornadoes reported already today, and right at the moment here in red, southeast Iowa still has 2 tornado warnings, a number across Iowa, Minnesota, Wisconsin in yellow of severe thunderstorm warnings in that area between this cold front and then this stationary front. A lot of very warm southeast flow and then southwest flow aloft, so a lot of turning with the winds with height today for that chance of tornadoes and damaging winds. Over in the area near Oskaloosa, Iowa, Mahaska County with a tornado warning, as there's a couple little circulations embedded within that. You see these little notches on the back side, so places like Sigfield down to Lacey United Methodist Church, the Kenoma, I guess I have one too many graphics on there that's blocking a little bit. That'll make it a little easier to read. Places like University Park and Sigfield area, some of the timings, as some of these storms going north at about 55 miles per hour. There's one of the circulations right to the east of Rose Hill. There's another here near Cedar, another in the area between New Sharon and the Gibson. So a lot of these storms have some modest rotations at the moment. Hopefully they won't get any stronger than that. A little mini supercell thunderstorm here coming up across Louisa, Muscatine, and Rock Island counties, not too far from the Illinois border, but these are mostly in Iowa where the tornado threat is. Some of the timing of that, Muscatine 513, Wilton about 525. Then a storm that's had a lot of strong winds, a whole line from Fort Dodge. It's past Boone and Des Moines now, but it goes all the way down into that Ottumwa, Iowa area. The damaging winds 60 mile per hour or stronger. We've had some gusts estimated 70, some damage. Hardin, Marshall, Story counties, and those that line of storms goes all the way down to Ottumwa, and part of that storm with the tornado warning is embedded in that. Then there's another line of storms, individualized supercell thunderstorms, though, about ready to come into Wisconsin, Houston and Vernon counties, up into the straddling the borders there, La Crosse, Trempealeau, and Monona. We had tornado warnings in there last night, and then up into Buffalo County in Wisconsin, and a flash flood warning coming up into the Mankato, Minnesota area. So once again, all forms of severe weather threats are a possibility and a danger tonight. Mike?
All right, thank you very much, Dr. Forbes. Let's talk about the threat through the evening tonight. Again, here's a look at the radar. You can see a lot of the storms through the upper Midwest this evening. And when you look at the future radar, one thing you'll end up noticing, it's got a really good grasp on what's happening right now. So a lot of confidence this is going to pan out the way it suggests here, with the storms still spiraling up through, especially Wisconsin, northern Illinois, spiraling around that low, but still plenty of rain overnight tonight in the Twin Cities. But as we go through the night, unlike last night, we think that a lot of the instability will die down and we'll get some just rain showers and not severe weather continuing through the night. So a place like Des Moines, for example, storms through the evening, likely tapering off around 8 o'clock tonight, and then generally partly cloudy skies after that. So the good news is it's an evening threat. After that, we should be in the clear. Alex?
All right, well, the town of Elk City, Oklahoma, beginning to come to terms with the damage seen when a tornado ripped through the community less than 24 hours ago. Here's what we know right now. Investigators have found at least EF2 damage there in Elk City. 1 person died in the community. Another 10 people were hurt. More than 100 homes are damaged or destroyed, and damage is thrown along a 15-mile path in that western Oklahoma community. Our own Dave Malkoff is there.
The damage, as you can see, is pretty extensive here in Elk City, Oklahoma, on the western side of the state. More than 100 homes were wrecked here in some fashion, either from cosmetic damage all the way up to destruction, as you see behind us. 1 man was killed as he tried to flee away from this tornado. He was trying to get to his vehicle, and that vehicle was caught up in the worst of the devastation. Governor Mary Fallin was here just minutes ago and made this statement.
It's been a very hard night for the city of Elk City. And we're very proud of all of our first responders, the city mayor and city manager, commissioners, all the people that have come out today to help our community here. And a lot of people suffered. A lot of homes have been lost. Thank goodness we didn't have a big loss of life. Any loss of life is devastating, but we were very fortunate. This was a big storm. We are very proud of all of our disaster relief teams that are here. There are shelters that have been set up. There is food. There is water. A lot of people out helping their neighbors here in Elk City, and it just shows the Oklahoma spirit.
Governor Mary Fallin just a short time ago here in Elk City, Oklahoma.
In Oklahoma, dealing with more than tornadoes. Watch this. This is insane hydroplane. At least that's what we're calling it. A pickup truck spins out on the side of the road in Sayre, Oklahoma yesterday, and he sends plumes of that Oklahoma red mud flying right in to the windshield of the driver taking this video. How about that? Just once again, some of the dangers that you see out there on the roads. The threat for more severe weather returns to the southern plains once again tomorrow, so you're not getting much of a break there into parts of Oklahoma and Texas. Tomorrow, the threat extends from the Rio Grande all the way up into really just about all of Kansas and a little bit of eastern Colorado, a little bit of western Missouri. Torcon values 4 out of 10 for Wichita Falls. That's a 40% chance of a tornado within 50 miles. Back to a 5 out of 10 again for Elk City, Oklahoma, and a 4 out of 10 for Wichita. So we're talking 40 to 50% chance of tornadoes within 50 miles. So a significant threat. We're talking medium chance, at least for a tornado, not to mention the hail, the damaging wind risk that we'll have as well. So here is the future radar as we start off tomorrow. Morning hours will be on the quiet side, even lunchtime for the most part quiet. By the mid-afternoon, we begin to see those storms fire. They'll be moving through a place like Dallas as we get towards the late evening, or really the rush hour, I would say the late afternoon, evening, right around 6 o'clock. I think you could be seeing some storms with some strong winds or hail. Mike?
All right, Alex, thank you. Coming up on Weather Underground, significant damage left in the wake of tornadoes in Oklahoma last night. We'll break down the latest images and show you what neighborhoods like this looked like before the tornado.
Dry mouth can affect how your mouth feels and how you feel. Discover Act Dry Mouth, specially formulated to soothe and moisturize your mouth. And try new Act Dry Mouth Spray for relief when you need it.
For my constipation, my doctor recommended I switch laxatives. Stimulant laxatives make your body go by forcefully stimulating the nerves in your colon. Miralax is different. It works with the water in your body to hydrate and soften, unblocking your system naturally. Miralax.
With Scotch Blue Platinum Painter's Tape, you can prep any angle quicker and easier. 3M's advanced poly material helps stop paint seepage, and it's easy to remove in one long pull, so you can pull off a better paint job. Scotch Blue Platinum Painter's Tape.
Sir?
You the law?
We've had some complaints of... Is that a fire?
There's your payoff, deputy. Get!
Velveeta shells and cheese. There's gold in them there shells.
Come on, Josh.
When someone truly believes in you, you can achieve great things, like hitting the game-winning home run. At Loan Depot, we believe in helping you achieve the American dream of owning a home. Loan Depot is the only lender that provides critical illness coverage which you can use to pay your mortgage payments, up to $30,000 in case you're unable to work.
That's impressive.
And if interest rates ever drop, you can refinance without any lender closing costs. Loan Depot, we believe in you.
I'm so done with laundry.
We deserve a vacation. The sun, the sand, the little umbrellas in our drinks.
Sounds expensive.
Sounds heavenly.
You two are getting along now?
If we book on Allegiant.com,
we can get a great deal on everything.
I'm so glad we found a deal you could both agree on.
I found the deal.
No, it was my idea.
No, it was mine.
Listen to your wallet and visit Allegiant.com now.
At WeatherTech, we never stop inventing ways to keep your vehicle protected. From floor liners and cargo liners to dozens of other world-class quality products, including no-drill mud flaps and bump step. Nothing is better for your car, truck, or SUV than WeatherTech for your family, the whole family. Go to WeatherTech.com to find the ultimate vehicle protection, along with a full line of automotive accessories. Nothing protects like WeatherTech.
You don't let anything keep you sidelined. That's why you drink Ensure with 9 grams of protein and 26 vitamins and minerals. for the strength and energy to get back to doing what you love. Ensure, always be you.
Before we hit the beach, I gotta hit the loo. We can't stay here.
Why?
Terrible toilet paper. I'll never get clean.
Way ahead of you, Big Daddy.
Charmin Ultra Strong. Its washcloth-like texture helps clean better. It's 4 times stronger, and you can use less.
Beautiful view.
Thanks to Charmin and you, Honey Bear.
Oh, we all go. Why not enjoy the go with Charmin?
There's an opportunity in every window. So start your day opening the window to your weather with Jim Cantori, Stephanie Abrams, and Jen Carfagno looking out at the stories and the science behind your forecast. Open up your mornings with AMHQ on the Weather Channel.
What makes me a weather geek? The fact that I love the weather, especially when it's hit me in the side of the face.
I'm gonna ride this one out, guys.
Be one of the thousands of weather geeks out there at weloveweather.tv.
Welcome back into Weather Underground. We are tracking active storms across the middle of the country today around the northern plains and the upper Great Lakes. I'm going to get into some of these warnings, but actually first want to show you the tornado watches that we currently have in play across parts of the state of Iowa, the entire state of Iowa, a little bit of Nebraska, Missouri, some of Illinois, and much of Wisconsin. All right, so let's get back to the current radar picture and show you some of the active warnings. We've got a tornado warning here into parts of western Wisconsin, very close to the Minnesota state line. This is La Crosse County. It is north of the city of La Crosse. Now, let's take a closer look and see if we're seeing any kind of rotation there. Tough to make out in this area, but you can take a close. You're very close to the radar, so not going to get a great picture there. A little bit here, perhaps, and it's tough to make out. All right, let's get back to the big picture because I do want to walk you through, before we give it to Mike, the other tornado warning. Back to the radar big picture, and it's this tornado warned storm here into parts of Iowa. So this is right along the Iowa-Illinois state line. So both of these very close to the state line. This one around Muscatine and Rock Island. We're also picking up those eagle's wings there on the radar. Very cool to see that as the airflow around the storm gives us that look to the radar. Let's show you what's happening here on the velocity within this one. Again, tough to make out a really clear area of rotation, but we'd be watching right around the Muscatine area and heading up to the north. Mike?
All right, Alex, thank you very much. Reports of at least 30 tornadoes across 5 states stretching from Texas to the Great Lakes. Elk City, Oklahoma, just one area hit hard. The National Weather Survey team, they're saying they found at least EF2 damage, but there certainly could be more than that. You can see this hit a pretty large neighborhood near a golf course here. We're up here in the lab with our severe weather expert, Dr. Greg Forbes, now. Take a look at some of this, Dr. Forbes, and we'll pause some of this, and you can see that we've got some areas here where homes were hit pretty hard. This home here was hit pretty hard right in there. Pause that right there, and you can see that one was hit hard.
Yeah, pretty much the entire roof is taken off of the home there, so that could be one that would be up to EF2. And EF2, the upper bound is 135 miles per hour. EF3 would get 136 or higher, so they're giving the possibility that it could do that. They rate the tornadoes based upon the worst damage the tornado does.
Let's give you a different perspective here and kind of give you the lay of the land of where we are. Here's a Google Earth image of that. This is that neighborhood that you just flew through right there, okay? This is the golf course. Down here is the clubhouse right in there, okay? So let's take you down to the street level view of that clubhouse so you can get a view of what it looks like from the street, okay? And you look down the street, then you turn toward the clubhouse here. That's what it looks like. But let's go back to the video and show you what it looks like now afterwards when the tornado ended up striking here. So this is through that neighborhood, and then it'll go back to the clubhouse. That's it right there. Let's pause that right there.
Big, long, flat-roofed building with one side and 2 parts of it. Probably this is the wind-facing side. Here's a swimming pool in here, and this is peeled back part of the roof in here. And then this side is completely taken off the roof in this case. I don't see too much in the way of any walls that have been knocked down, so that would be why this would be probably not higher than an EF2 rating at this location.
All right, let's continue the video, and we'll take you up through this neighborhood. Again, this is the southern side, so this would have been, at least in this neighborhood, the first building that would have been hit. And then we go farther up through the neighborhood, and you can see buildings like this one. Let's pause that right there. And that's taken on a lot of damage on that home.
Yeah, this home is basically uninhabitable at this point. This was part of the garage. A part of the garage wall here is gone. It's gone off in this direction. And then I think there are also some walls down in here. So this could be one of the ones that they're assessing, Mike, to see if it's going to be stronger than an EF2 in terms of the rating.
Let's go down to the street level here and show you what this home actually looks like, because it's hard to get a perspective here when it's from above. But that's the home right there. And you go down to the street and you'll see that these are big, well-constructed homes, Dr. Forbes.
Yeah.
So tough to see what happened there. There's a look at the home.
Wow, brick facade.
Yep. We'll be right back.
With Scotch Blue Platinum Painter's Tape, you can prep any angle quicker and easier. 3M's advanced poly material helps stop paint seepage, and it's easy to remove in one long pull, so you can pull off a better paint job. Scotch Blue Platinum Painter's Tape.
It brings the heat and keeps you out of the kitchen. And at $550, your budget won't go up in smoke. Cabela's Pellet Grill. Great price, lifetime guarantee. Only at Cabela's.
Nothing spoils a moment like heartburn. Try new Alka-Seltzer Ultra Strength Heartburn Relief Chews. It's fast, powerful relief with no chalky taste. Ultra Strength, new from Alka-Seltzer. Enjoy the relief.
I sneeze, there goes my sensitive bladder. Sound familiar? Then you'll love this. Always discreet. Incredible protection in a pad this thin. I didn't think it would work, but the super absorbent core turns liquid to gel for incredible protection. So I know I'm wearing it, but no one else will. Always discreet.
I've discovered incredible bladder leak underwear that hugs every curve. Can't tell I'm wearing it, can you? Always discreet underwear for bladder leaks.
I want the most out of my health and life, so I trust Nature Made vitamins. Because they were the first to be verified by USP for quality and purity standards, and because I recommend them as a pharmacist.
Nature Made, the #1 pharmacist-recommended vitamin and supplement brand.
Call you back.
Is this my car? State Farm knows that for every one of those moments, This is ridiculous! there's one of these.
Is this my car? What? This is ridiculous.
This can't be happening!
This can't be happening.
Oh, it's happening, sweetheart.
Oh, it's happening, sweetheart.
Shut up.
Shut up! That's why State Farm is there.
What a day.
With car insurance for when things go wrong. What a day! But also here with car loans to help life go right. State Farm.
There's an opportunity in every window. So start your day opening the window to your weather with Jim Cantori, Stephanie Abrams, and Jen Carfagno, looking out at the stories and the science behind your forecast. Open up your mornings with AMHQ on the Weather Channel.
So, how many of us feel completely confident about our financial future? Let's hear some specifics. Yes, go ahead.
I don't want to be a burden to my kids. When my husband died, it took almost all of our savings to give him a proper funeral. I honestly don't know if there's enough to bury me, let alone cover expenses should something happen.
Okay. Let's talk solutions. One thing you may want to get in place is a guaranteed whole life insurance policy from United of Omaha Life Insurance Company, which is a Mutual of Omaha company. This is affordable coverage, which provides a cash payment which can cover funeral expenses, bills, and other financial needs, all from a company that's been doing the right thing for its policyholders for over 90 years. Yes, sir.
Do I need medical exams, things like that?
No medical exams. If you're between the ages of 45 and 85, you can call this number or you can go online and apply for coverage up to $25,000. United of Omaha Guaranteed Whole Life Insurance. Call or go online now.
If you love the window seat, start your day opening the window to your weather with AMHQ. Mornings on the Weather Channel.
A wind advisory is in effect. Currently in our area, 79 degrees under fair skies with windy conditions. Tonight, mainly clear and windy, low 55. Thursday, thunderstorms developing in the afternoon, high 79. Chance of rain, 50%.
Thursday night, thunderstorms likely, low 60. Here's our 7-day outlook.
It's a dangerous evening, this time in parts of the Midwest, Iowa, Wisconsin, Minnesota. We have a surface low that's there in northwest parts of Iowa. Big line of thunderstorms with gusts to 70 miles per hour, lines down in many places across central Iowa. And then right here in southwest Wisconsin and southeast parts of Iowa in red, a couple of tornado warnings. We'll focus for the moment on those tornado warnings. The newest of them is just to the north of La Crosse, Wisconsin. It's for a possibility of circulations on the leading edge of this mini bow echo that itself could have damaging winds coming across La Crosse County. No real well-defined circulation. There is a pretty well-defined surge there in that mini bow, but places like Brookside School, the Burns, the Little Falls area could have damaging winds and a chance of a tornado as this whole storm line goes northeast or east-northeast at about 50 miles per hour. Then a small and maybe weakening supercell thunderstorm near the Muscatine, Iowa area, Muscatine and Rock Island counties with a tornado warning. The circulation would be right about in there coming up toward the Durant area and the New Liberty area, 533, 543. So Mike and Alex, still dangerous storms out there of wind, tornado, and maybe even flood type.
All right, thanks, Dr. Forbes. There were at least 5 reports of tornadoes that hit the state of Wisconsin, including one that killed a person in the town of Chetek. The National Weather Service rated that tornado that hit Barron County, and they rated it a strong EF2 tornado with winds 120 to 130 miles per hour.
All right, tornado warned storm. This was one of them here in Barron County in Wisconsin. Take a look at the storm here. You can see that it's a large storm. Let's go ahead and roll this video. You can see that we've got, it looks like a lowering rate in here, right? But for most of this storm, what you saw were big hailers. You saw some pretty good wind out of this, and then eventually you ended up seeing a tornado.
Right, and let this show you that, even though we're talking about a really flat terrain, it is very difficult, I think, for many folks who are looking out at that skyline to see much of anything.
Look at this, though. It's got a ragged wall cloud on it. Look at that wall cloud, comes all the way down almost to the ground here. So you obviously see there's a pretty intense storm going on here.
Yeah, or you might think this is just a shield of rain, and I think a lot of people could just go about their business.
There could be a tornado hiding in behind that. You just would never see it. Rain wrap tornado, or you've got wall cloud that comes all the way down the ground. You can't see anything, right?
Yeah. Hey, let's give you a look at some of the aerial views of the damage. Unfortunately, this mobile home park, Prairie Lake Estates, was destroyed in this. And, Dr. Forbes talks about these mobile homes being extremely susceptible because they're not anchored down. There's no foundation to
down
these.
In here, and it takes, as wind, believe it or not, as little as 80 miles an hour to just flip over a mobile home. If it's not anchored down, it's even worse. Semi flipped over here. So there were obviously big issues here with the tornadic winds, and so far EF2 damage associated with this, winds at minimum 120 miles an hour.
And reportedly 50 to 60 homes here in this community that were damaged or destroyed. And now we've got some damage pictures from on the ground, and here you're looking at a brick home that's also suffered serious damage, at least to the second story or the roof, if this is only a one-story building to begin with.
And look at this right here. So you've got some extensive damage up there. This building has this home has a lot of damage to the front side here that's been sheared off, and it looks like I don't know if that's a garage right there. So we say this all the time. A garage door is really susceptible, right? Because basically what happens for you here is you end up getting an entry point for the wind. It's the most susceptible location, and it just goes in. The wind then can get inside the home and start to then potentially push out on the walls, and that's when you have walls that can collapse.
Right, so don't think that's your lowest level, most interior room. You definitely do not want to pick the garage, but scenes like this, not uncommon here across Wisconsin, also in the state of Oklahoma.
I was just saying, in some of these videos where you look at the brick facade, look at that extensive damage, what you see is a lot of mud splattered on the sides of them too, so we were picking up a lot of ground scour and throwing it too.
So scary pictures, and we've got much more still to come on Weather Underground, including tracking the threat for dangerous storms right now, once again in the Midwest.
Nothing spoils a moment like heartburn. Try new Alka-Seltzer Ultra Strength Heartburn Relief Chews. It's fast, powerful relief with no chalky taste. Ultra Strength, new from Alka-Seltzer. Enjoy the relief.
Trade you.
Trade you?
Trade you. Trade you. Trade you. Trade you.
No, thank you.
Frito-Lay multi-packs, packed full of smiles.
Liberty Mutual stood with me when this guy got a flat tire in the middle of the night, so he got home safe.
Yeah, my dad says their insurance doesn't have that.
What?
You can leave worry behind when Liberty stands with you. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Every truck guy has their own way of conveying powerful.
Yeah, boy. Kind of looks like a monster coming to eat you.
Holy smokes. That is awesome. Strong.
You got the basic and you got the beefy.
I just think it looks mean.
Incredible. No way. I'm getting goosebumps.
It's the Chevy Memorial Day sales event. Find your tag and get over $9,300 total value on select Silverado crew cabs when you finance with GM Financial. Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer.
Not gonna happen.
That's it. I'm calling Kohler about their walk-in bath.
My name is Ken. How may I help you?
Hi, I'm calling about Kohler's walk-in bath.
Excellent. Happy to help.
Huh?
Hold one moment, please. The Kohler walk-in bath features an extra wide opening and a low step-in at 3 inches, which is 25 to 60% lower than some leading competitors. The bath fills and drains quickly, while the heated seat soothes your back, neck, and shoulders. Kohler is an expert in bathing, so you can count on a deep soaking experience.
Are you seeing this?
The Kohler walk-in bath comes with fully adjustable hydrotherapy jets and our exclusive bubble massage. Everything is installed in as little as a day by a Kohler certified installer. And it's made by Kohler, America's leading plumbing brand.
We need this bath.
Yes. Yes, you do. A Kohler walk-in bath provides independence with peace of mind. Call 1-800-574-1372 and ask about saving $1,000 on your walk-in bath. Or visit KohlerWalkInBath.com for more info.
I've got everything I need beside me. You got a smile that makes the world shine brighter.
Whether for big meetings or little getaways, there are always smiles ahead at Holiday Inn.
Don't waste your time and money at the chain store. They got the best auto parts, brake parts, suspension parts, and dealer parts too. The website's so easy to use. The lowest prices and fast delivery too. All the parts your car will ever need. All the savvy folks are buying parts at rockauto.com. All the parts your car will ever need. rockauto.com.
Beth is a total boss. She switched to the best deal in America, Total Wireless. She gets the largest, most dependable 4G LTE network and 5 gigs of high-speed data for $35 a month. Make it rain, Beth. Total Wireless. Available at Walmart.
When you've been making delicious natural cheese for over 100 years like Kraft has, you'll learn a lot about what people want.
Honey, do we have like a super creamy cheese with taco spice already in it? Oh, thanks.
Bon appetit.
Okay.
With Scotch Blue Platinum Painter's Tape, you can prep any angle quicker and easier. 3M's advanced poly material helps stop paint seepage, and it's easy to remove in one long pull, so you can pull off a better paint job. Scotch Blue Platinum Painter's Tape.
You know what makes me a weather geek is owning like 5 weather stations at my house, and then I name them. Who does that? Seriously. I did. I named my weather station Albedo. For you weather geeks, you'll understand what that is. And then I have Albedo Jr. Don't ask. Join the Weather Channel fan community at weloveweather.tv.
Closed captioning brought to you by IBGuard. For years, I suffered from abdominal pain and bloating. My doctor recommended IBGuard. Now, I'm in control of my IBS. Non-prescription IBGuard calms the angry gut.
There is nothing left.
It's the first time I've seen something like that.
Those scenes are playing out just 24 hours ago. And thanks for joining us for this special extended edition of Weather Underground. I'm Mike Bettis.
And I'm Alex Wilson. Spring storms and strong tornadoes causing a great deal of damage across the southern plains and all the way up to the upper Midwest. The threat for severe storms not over tonight, though.
That's right. We're up here in the lab with our severe weather expert, Dr. Greg Forbes. Last night was a really rough evening. This evening now, a little bit more focused area, it feels like, across the upper Midwest.
Yeah, not quite so many states, but unfortunately, some of the same states that had tornado threat last night, Iowa tonight, up into maybe northern Illinois and Wisconsin. It's basically going to be ahead of this line that's across central Iowa right now as it heads north and east. Some of the storms ahead of that at times and they both of the tornado warnings in this line have just expired, but this surface low is pulling a lot of warm, moist air from the Gulf of Mexico up into this area, and there is a tremendous wind shear that could allow for still a few more tornado warnings. This is a storm that had been embedded in this squall line that's running across the area north of La Crosse, Wisconsin. Take a look at the little curly Q embedded in there. So embedded in La Crosse and Monroe counties, and then up into parts of Jackson, La Crosse, and Monroe counties with severe thunderstorm warnings. And I couldn't really truly rule out a tornado from that. Let me adjust this a little bit to make up for that where that new little curly Q is. So can't totally rule out a tornado. Certainly a damaging wind a possibility for places like Melrose, down in the Little Falls and the Black River Falls area of Wisconsin. And here's what I mean. There's pretty strong winds surging northeastward, and then these are the inflow winds that are coming around that little comma head that's showing up, and then there's a few little curly Q circulations along the leading edge of that. So that Melrose Little Falls area, it had been tornado warned. Can't totally rule it out again either. Over here in the Cedar, Clinton, and Scott counties of Iowa, this little supercell thunderstorm had been tornado warned, no longer. A wee little bit of a circulation on the south side of that, heading up around the Durant and the Dixon area. It's severe thunderstorm warned now. This line of thunderstorms has had quite a bit of wind damage with it. Power lines down. Now it's into Grundy, Hardin, and Marshall counties north and east of Des Moines. And then east of Des Moines, heading towards Cedar Rapids and Iowa City, Benton, Iowa, and Keokuk counties. And then that line of thunderstorms that has a brand new tornado warning. The area I just talked about has come on for that, as well as now down into a severe warning for Crawford, Richland, and Vernon counties. And then not quite so intense coming up into Eau Claire County. Brand new tornado warning there till 6:15 for Jackson County in Wisconsin. Flash flood warnings in the areas north of Mankato in southeast parts of Minnesota. Alex?
All right, thanks so much, Dr. Forbes. Let's continue to time out the threat as we move through the next few hours. Here, of course, the current radar picture, and our future radar lines up very well to what we're seeing as we look at the time frame now. Now moving forward, storms continue through parts of Iowa, northern Illinois, and Wisconsin. As we get to the midnight hour, Green Bay, you could still be seeing some storminess, at least some steadier rain around Minneapolis, closer to that upper level low. And then we'll also watch for some storms tomorrow morning into parts of southwestern Kentucky. But Des Moines, your next few hours are going to be the stormy ones for you. So 6, 7, 8 o'clock. They'll be fairly hit or miss or spotty as we move towards the late evening and overnight. Get a much needed break. Mike?
Well, the latest round of rough weather comes as communities from the southern plains to Wisconsin struggle with the damage done by yesterday's deadly tornado outbreak. And here's what we know at this hour. 1 person died in Elk City, Oklahoma. 10 others were hurt. More than 100 homes damaged when that tornado struck. Another death in Chautauqua, Wisconsin, as 25 people were hurt in a mobile home park after a tornado hit there. At least 2 homes were destroyed. Another 9 were heavily damaged. Investigators found evidence of EF2 damage in both Elk City and Oklahoma and in Barron County, Wisconsin. NBC's Jacob Rascone has more on the damage done.
The debris scattered for miles in Elk City, Oklahoma after taking a direct hit from a tornado.
We were in the cellar and we kept hearing the rain and the hail, and then our ears popped and we thought that wasn't good.
1 person killed and more than 24 injured here. From mobile homes to massive estates, some 100 homes damaged or demolished. 1 woman had to be rescued from her home that collapsed.
I am live at my house. There is nothing left.
A reality many residents understand could have easily been much worse without the alarms.
We had the sirens alerting people of this at least 30 minutes before the storm. That was a really positive thing because it gave people an opportunity to take shelter.
Driving conditions treacherous. Motorists dodging golf ball-sized hail. This pickup truck losing control. Hard to see in real speed, but shocking in slow motion. In the town of Chautauqua, Wisconsin, another neighborhood devastated by a twister, tearing apart a mobile home community and killing at least one person. Winds up to 80 miles per hour, tossing this tractor trailer.
It looks like it's moving east-northeast towards McLean, Texas. It's a pretty significant tornado right now.
The storm system that started in the Texas plains produced as many as 27 tornadoes that also tore through parts of Oklahoma, Kansas, Nebraska, and Wisconsin. A deadly and devastating reminder of Mother Nature's fury in the heart of Tornado Alley.
Well, guess what? The severe weather just not quitting, and we think tomorrow brings yet another opportunity for severe weather. A place like Pittsburgh could be in play. A place like Dallas could be in play. Both locations very warm today. 84 in Pittsburgh right now. It's 90 degrees in Dallas. The humidity's come back as well. You can probably feel that, right? So here's a look at tomorrow's threat across the plains. Once again, it's Kansas, it's Oklahoma, it's down through the heart of Texas as well. Dallas will likely be more evening commute for you, middle of the day from, say, Wichita Falls down toward Del Rio. And Kansas City will be right on the edge of it here, too. Tomorrow's Torcon in Wichita Falls is a 4, a 5 in Elk City, and a 4 in Wichita, Kansas. So a 40 to 50% chance that we could see tornadoes tomorrow. Here's a look at the future radar, and what it's going to show you is a blow-up of storms that happens through the middle of the day and then through the evening. And you'll get those going right here, right in the center of Texas tomorrow. One thing you'll notice here is backwards C-shape there. Maybe looking at some bow echoes that form tomorrow, and some spin-ups along that bow echo could be an issue. Zoom into Dallas and show you the timing here, about 6 o'clock in the evening, coming through Fort Worth, eventually getting through Dallas as well. Some of those storms could produce some very heavy rain. Hydroplaning on the roadways will be an issue. Couldn't rule out some hail with those storms as well. So unfortunately, storms return again tomorrow for the 4th day in a row. And by Friday, Alex, we'll make it 5 days in a row.
Yeah, we've got severe weather in the cards again for the end of the week. So your Friday night plans could be a bit compromised, especially if they involve anything outside. Friday, we're watching parts of western Kentucky, southwestern Indiana, over to Kansas. And then we see that line all the way through Oklahoma and parts of Texas. And once again, Torcon values in that 4 range. 40% chance of a tornado within 50 miles of Wichita Falls, as well as Oklahoma City. And then Wichita, we're looking at a 3 out of 10. So next 2 days for some of these cities will be likely stormy, including Oklahoma City. Afternoon thunderstorms Thursday. Thursday night, still at least a chance of a storm. Then by Friday and Friday night, thunderstorms still in the cards for you. All times could offer up a severe storm, isolated tornado, damaging wind, hail. St. Louis, Friday and Saturday, your best chance of thunderstorms. And even over the overnight periods, Mike will be watching for those.
Yeah, unfortunately, when it happened at night, that's when you really get worried, because it's such a dangerous time. Alex, thank you. A lot more to come here on the show tonight. When we come back, a handful of states hard hit last night. We're going to comb through the video we've been getting and break down what happened on the radar with these storms as they were moving in. And we take a live look at Iowa City under tornado watch until 11 o'clock this evening. 78 degrees right now, ominous skies in the background over the Capitol.
For 4 days only at Joseph A. Bank, buy one, get one free and go for the perfect business casual looks. Plus $169 for 1905 sport coats and blazers, and $59 for all traveler and reserve khakis. Only at Joseph A. Bank.
Pick a car. Any car.
Just want to find a used car without getting ripped off.
Search millions of used cars and find a great deal at Carfax.com.
That would help. Show me the Carfax.
Only Carfax gives you the most accurate price based on a car's history. Just look at all the great deals.
Thanks, buddy.
Boom.
Show me the Carfax.
Start your used car search and get free Carfax reports at the all-new Carfax.com.
Natural Bliss has turned the creamer world upside down with new almond milk creamers that are deliciously creamy. Made from real almonds and Madagascar vanilla. All natural, just got delicious. New Natural Bliss almond milk creamers. Stir things up.
Pamper your feet with this at-home pedicure.
I don't have time for that. My feet get so dry and cracked, I need serious relief. That's why I use O'Keeffe's for healthy feet. Guaranteed relief for extremely dry, cracked feet. Thanks to O'Keeffe's, I got my feet back.
When you're looking for answers, it's good to have help, because the right information at the right time may make all the difference. At Humana, we know that's especially true when you're looking for a Medicare supplement insurance plan. That's why we're offering this fact-filled guide, 7 things every Medicare supplement should have. And it's yours free just for calling 1-855-847-0756. You see, Medicare covers only about 80% of your Part B medical expenses. The rest is up to you. That's why so many people purchase Medicare supplement insurance plans like those offered by Humana. They're designed to help you save money and pay some of the costs Medicare doesn't. Depending on the Medicare supplement plan you select, you could have no deductibles or copayments for doctor visits, hospital stays, emergency care, and more. You can keep the doctors you have now, ones you know and trust, with no referrals needed. Plus, you can get medical care anywhere in the country, even when you're traveling. With Humana, you get a competitive monthly premium and personalized service from a healthcare partner working to make healthcare simpler and easier for you. You can choose from a wide range of standardized plans. Each one is designed to work seamlessly with Medicare and help save you money. So how do you find the plan that's right for you? One that fits your needs and your budget. Call Humana now at 1-855-847-0756. That's 1-855-847-0756 for this free guide. It's just one of the ways that Humana is making healthcare simpler. And when you call, a knowledgeable licensed agent producer can answer any questions you have and help you choose the plan that's right for you. The call is free and there's no obligation. You know Medicare won't cover all your medical costs, so call now and see why a Medicare supplement plan from a company like Humana just might be the answer.
Would you like to overcome sluggishness? True Biotics can help you feel lighter, more energetic by naturally supporting your digestive and immune health. True Biotics, a daily probiotic that helps restore the balance of good bacteria. True Biotics from One A Day.
With Scotch Blue Platinum Painter's Tape, you can prep any angle quicker and easier. 3M's advanced poly material helps stop paint seepage, and it's easy to remove in one long pull, so you can pull off a better paint job. Scotch Blue Platinum Painter's Tape.
Once upon a time, Hansel and Gretel came upon a house made out of gingerbread. Being quite hungry, they started eating the roof. The homeowner was outraged. Luckily, the Geico Insurance Agency had helped her with homeowner's insurance. She got all her shingles replaced. Hansel and Gretel were last seen eating their way through the candy cane forest. Call Geico and see how easy it is to switch and save on homeowner's insurance.
It's an evening where we could see pretty widespread damaging winds as a line of thunderstorms rolls across north central and eastern Iowa up into parts of northern Illinois and Wisconsin. And out ahead of that, we have a line of thunderstorms that does have an embedded tornado warning in that. That's the storm in red there. Let's take a look at that one for the moment. We'll come back in subsequent blocks and look at some of the other storms. The tornado warning is in Wisconsin, Jackson County, moving northeast at about 55 miles per hour. If you look carefully, you can see a well-defined swirl in there. So there's counterclockwise rotation showing up in this. This is sort of a bow echo with a comma head in that, with damaging winds would surge up into here. Inflow comes back into here. So there is some rotation on that, a little notch with some rotation there. And so places like Irving, Black River Falls, up into Kamensky and the Dewhurst area, you could have that chance of a tornado. It does have a well-defined but broad circulation with those strong surging winds ahead of the bow echo. There's the gust front of the bow echo, and then a little bit of a circulation embedded, could be a little bit of a mini swirl there heading toward or near the Irving, Wisconsin area. So be on the lookout for that. Possible damaging winds, widespread, and maybe localized tornadoes. Mike, Alex?
All right, thanks, Dr. Forbes. We've been getting a lot of video into the Weather Channel from the severe storms from Texas all the way up to Wisconsin. So we want to break down some of it and show you stuff that caught our eyes.
It's pretty fascinating stuff. McLean, Texas, first stop here. And check this out. This tornado starts out as a thin little rope, and then it just starts expanding and expanding and expanding here, eventually taking on a pretty distinct, completely vertical stovepipe shape.
Yeah, this backdrop, perfect for showing the widening effect. You know, you've got the flat terrain, but up against that lighting, you can really see this thing fill out from a very, very thin tornado to, as you mentioned, more of a stovepipe.
If you look carefully, you can even see the rotating wall cloud there as well. But let's take it to a different perspective. Let's zoom right down in there and show you what's going on in this video. Look at all the different tendrils there and the multiple vortices that you see spin within that when it's in contact with the ground there.
How cool is that? And you can see a little bit of the debris and dust being kicked out of the side. Really, at this point, just dust, because you can see there's not a lot here on the ground. But every once in a while, you do see a little bit of something, whether it's bits of trees or plants being picked up.
The great news is nothing hit here, but I just thought the vortices in there are fantastic, cool. and just like grass or dirt being centrifuged out of the bottom of that. Pretty wild stuff. All right, well, let's take you to the scene now in Mineola, Kansas.
And this is the driver's
Look at this
seat.
You can't see anything.
Right. A lot of chasers go out and about when there are storms in this area because it's very easy to see. That is when you can see. Here you're in the blinding rain, and what? Can you see even a few feet in front of you?
I believe what happened here is they actually drove away from the tornado. It was a rain-wrapped tornado. They got out of the inflow, turned around to look at it, then it kind of came right past them on the roadway, and they were close enough to get in what's known almost as the bear's cage here, where you're inside the rain curtain that envelops the tornado, and there's a ton then of inflow around that as well, and you can't see, but what, 25 feet in front of you maybe?
And in addition to the rain, you often get large hail here in this part of the storm as well, and I think we're hearing a little bit of that on the windshield. But just a spot you don't want to be if you find yourself out on the roads. You can see how dangerous it can be, even not necessarily in the tornado, but close.
Right. Listen, some of the inflow can be just as strong as the centrifuging out from a tornado. So the wind being sucked in can be pretty violent. All right, now this is a really wild video here. This is in Nebraska, in Fillmore County here, a gustnado.
This is neat.
This is wild, isn't it?
And you can see the landscape really helps to fill in the condensation funnel, because we've got all this dirt that's being picked up. You can see some of that being centrifuged out, but look how high it's still brown. So you're getting an idea of just how high up that dirt is being picked.
And so up here, if we pause it right there, one thing that's interesting about gustnados is what you'll see what these is. The top of it's not really attached to the parent thunderstorm itself. So what's happening in essence is you're getting the shelf cloud and the leading edge of the storm that comes out and advances, and it'll kick up, basically turbulence along the front edge of that, and that can oftentimes just spin up these quick little, they're almost dust devils in essence. Now, they could carry some pretty significant wind speeds, but they don't form in the same classic sense as a tornado does.
Right, they're not from that supercell, that rotating wall cloud. But, you see this is an impressive sight to see. Again, they can do some damage. Usually they're on the lower end strength-wise, but in this case, you can see we had a pretty large gustnado.
It looked like it went over a newly plowed field, so you got a lot of dirt that's being picked up there in that field. Wild stuff that we saw across the plains yesterday.
Yeah, and when we come back, we've got a potential named winter storm to tell you about in Denver. Yes, unusual this late in May, even for the Front Range. We're going to break down the latest model runs and show you if snowfall could jam up parts of I-25.
It's not just a car, it's your daily retreat. Go ahead, spoil yourself. The ES and ES Hybrid. Experience amazing.
Hey, need fast heartburn relief? Try Cool Mint Zantac. It releases a cooling sensation in your mouth and throat. Zantac works in as little as 30 minutes. Nexium can take 24 hours. Try Cool Mint Zantac. No pill relieves heartburn faster.
Would you like to overcome sluggishness? True Biotics can help you feel lighter, more energetic by naturally supporting your digestive and immune health. True Biotics, a daily probiotic that helps restore the balance of good bacteria. True Biotics from Wenaday.
There's an opportunity in every window. A view connecting in here to an entire world of out there. So start your day opening the window to your weather with AMHQ. Watch Jim Cantori, Stephanie Abrams, and Jen Carfagno looking out at the stories and the science behind your forecast. Open up your mornings with AMHQ on the Weather Channel.
A wind advisory is in effect. Currently in our area, 78 degrees under sunny skies with windy conditions. Tonight, mainly clear and windy, low 55. Thursday, thunderstorms developing in the afternoon, high 79. Chance of rain 50%. Thursday night, thunderstorms likely, low 60. Here's our 7-day outlook.
With Scotch Blue Platinum Painter's Tape, you can prep any angle quicker and easier. 3M's advanced poly material helps stop paint seepage, and it's easy to remove in one long pull, so you can pull off a better paint job. Scotch Blue Platinum Painter's Tape.
It's what stands between the world and your eyes. A protective layer thinner than a human hair that keeps moisture in. This lipid layer can break down and cause dry eyes. That's why there's Soothe XP from the eye care experts at Bausch & Lomb. Only Soothe XP contains Restoral mineral oils. Soothe XP helps restore this layer, seal in moisture, and protect against further irritation. Ordinary drops can't do that.
Soothe XP works for my dry eyes.
Soothe XP, extra protection for dry eyes.
You do all this research on the perfect car, then smash it into a tree. Your insurance company raises your rates. Maybe you should have done more research on them.
For drivers with accident forgiveness, Liberty Mutual won't raise your rates due to your first accident. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Heat-trapping warmth, canvas toughness. For $110, you've got it in the bag. Cabela's Mountain Trapper Sleeping Bag. Great price, lifetime guarantee. Only at Cabela's.
Attention! If you or a loved one has been diagnosed with mesothelioma or another asbestos-related cancer, call the Shapiro Legal Group now. Over $30 billion has been set aside for mesothelioma victims and their families. Call the Shapiro Legal Group for a free consultation right now. Your family may qualify for a share of the billions of dollars already available in these trust funds, even if your loved one is deceased. Mesothelioma makes life extremely hard on its victims and their families. Don't wait. Call the Shapiro Legal Group right now. In most cases, your claim is settled out of court without a jury trial, which means you don't have to sue anyone. Billions of dollars in court-ordered trust funds are waiting to compensate victims of mesothelioma. Call the Shapiro Legal Group right now. We're here to help ease the financial burden of this horrific disease. The call and advice are free.
Call 800-941-2753. That's 800-941-2753.
What makes me a weather geek? The fact that I love the weather, especially when it's hit me in the side of the face.
I'm gonna ride this one out, guys.
Be one of the thousands of weather geeks out there at weloveweather.tv.
Oh, welcome back. We are looking live at the Mount Washington Observatory here in New Hampshire, headed towards your warmest day so far this month, and not far away, Brandon, from the warmest day on record in the month of May.
Exactly. Record high for Mount Washington, checking out on their website, 67.
And we're going to be very close. You know, to learn more about to learn about Mount Washington, head to their website, www.mountwashington.org, and you can get the current weather conditions, also upcoming events, and watch very closely. Are they going to get that record? So you said 67, tomorrow 62. So we're within a few degrees. I don't think we'll get there, but we could be getting very, very close to record warmth, and very quickly, things get back to normal, right? 46 on Friday with rain showers and, of course, the wind gusts that Mount Washington's known for, and we'll keep temperatures in the 40s going on throughout time. We saw plenty of record highs fall today into parts of the Northeast, and once again, we could be getting close to them or setting them again tomorrow. Hartford, Connecticut forecasting a 92-degree high for you tomorrow. The record is 90. We think New York, you'll beat it. Philadelphia, we think you'll be within 2 degrees, but Concord, we think you'll beat the old record by 2 degrees with highs in the low 90s. It's going to be really hot, feeling a lot more like July than May. Here's to Washington, D.C. When you get 3 days of 90-degree or higher temperatures, we got a heat wave. The hottest so far this year. We were 91 on April 29th. We were in the 90s today. We're expecting 93 tomorrow and 91 on Friday. If we get there again tomorrow and Friday, that'd be 3 to 90-degree days, Mike. That would be a heat wave. And then very quickly, we're back to 70. It feels much better. Oh, thank goodness.
That was quick. That was quick, right? All right, we know that we have had severe weather we've dealt with all week long. We're dealing with it again this evening. You can see the upper Midwest is a target right now. Tons of storms with severe thunderstorm warnings, a lot of lightning. We actually have a couple of warnings that are tornado warned within these storms as well. So we'll zoom down into Wisconsin. That's where they are right now. We'll put on the high resolution radar and show you what's happening for us right now around Black River Falls. It looks like the storm might be gusting out a little bit. Jackson County is a tornado warned storm until 6:15 this evening. I'm going ahead and put on the velocities here to give you an indication of what's going on. I don't see any real definitive couplet right now. What I'm seeing more of is it might actually be right in this area here is gusting out. So you might see some pretty decent winds, but we're going to see maybe a little bit of a spin in behind that. We've got one other tornado warned storm farther south. And that's just south of I-94. That's the storm right there near Bloom. That's a tornado warning right over Rockbridge right now. But again, that one also might be gusting out just a little bit. What a dynamic pattern that we've got going on right now, right? So Alex was talking about that record heat that's going to go all the way up to Maine tomorrow, by the way. We could see 90-degree temperatures. There's the severe weather from the middle of the country all the way down through the plains. And then this big dip in the jet stream here, allowing a lot of cold Canadian air to come in. Snow. And maybe big snow coming for us here across the Colorado Rockies, up through maybe the Bitterroots as well. Wyoming gets big snow. We could be looking at, in some places, 2 or 3 feet of snow. It's May.
We're not just talking about a little bit of snow. We're talking about a whole lot of snow. And you mentioned it is May. It's late in this season. Yeah, we've got winter storm watches, winter storm warnings, and advisories in play. That's a winter storm watch in effect right now for Denver. Scenes like that
Montana
will not be uncommon.
What's interesting, too, about this is that now we have almost everyone has leaves on the trees at this point now. So now you're just going to add that much more weight onto those leaves. We could be looking at a lot of power outages in some places. Denver's not off the table.
No, Denver not off the table. Now, we've brought the totals down a little bit compared to what we had last night. We'll show you those in just a moment, but you can see that area of low pressure bringing the snow to parts of Idaho. Also, Montana right now. You just saw that video from Montana. We've got western Colorado and western sections of Wyoming as well, but ending late Friday, it's going to be the front range of the Rockies into sections of Wyoming where we could be looking at 2 feet or more of snow. 2 feet or more. Feet. Feet, people.
It's May 17th today.
Yeah.
Like, that's nuts,
So
right?
by May 19th, you could be measuring and making snowmen instead of...
Wouldn't that be something? And you're like, everyone's right now getting amped up. The pools are about to open. Right. Memorial Day is right around the corner.
Graduation season, all of that.
Your graduation is going to be in the snow.
Right.
They're going to call it, you're going to get a snow day because graduation is going to be called off.
Sorry, we can't do it because it's too snowy.
That would be weird for like graduating seniors.
It would.
You get a snow day today. Graduation is going to be tomorrow.
Or would it be like the most Wyoming
epic
or mountain thing ever?
Probably.
Yeah,
actually,
that'd be very, very cool. Here is your totals around Cheyenne. Look at this. Cheyenne, you're looking at, say, maybe, goodness gracious, what is this? This is 4? That's not, that can't be right. So this has to be 12. Maybe that's like 14. So maybe a foot of snow around Cheyenne and then getting up into 11 inches, 22 inches just to the west. So big disparity. It's all about like real estate. It's going to be location, location, location.
It's a big role for sure.
All right.
Surprise! It's coming. If we get our name storm, it'll be V. Valerie will be the next name. All right, stick around. We've got a lot more to come here on the show this evening. When we come back, we're talking a lot more about severe weather this evening, including the latest watches and warnings. We're back in just 60 seconds after your local updates.
A wind advisory is in effect. Currently in our area, 78 degrees under sunny skies with windy conditions. Tonight, mainly clear and windy, low 55. Thursday, thunderstorms developing in the afternoon, high 79. Chance of rain, 50%. Thursday night, thunderstorms likely, low 60. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Coming up in this hour of Weather Underground.
Another round of dangerous storms happening right now with large hail, tornadoes, and destructive winds, all a major concern.
Find out who's at risk as this severe weather threat continues to unfold over the next several hours.
It was hard to see because the wind and rain was so thick. You couldn't even tell it was there until it was over with.
I'm very fortunate and very blessed and thankful that we got out.
And tonight's storms come on the heels of last night's deadly storms, with tornadoes leaving a swath of damage across 5 states.
And even as those hard-hit areas pick up the pieces, another potential outbreak threatens tomorrow. We'll show you who's in the bullseye once again.
Plus, bad weather usually means bad travel conditions, but what happens next in this video will make you cringe.
And if record heat wasn't shocking enough, how about some record snow? Yes, snow. We'll explain how an amped-up weather pattern is fueling a snowstorm, a heat wave, and tornadoes all at the same time. Weather Underground continues right now. And thanks for staying with us. A special edition of Weather Underground. We'll be with you for the next 2 hours. I'm Mike Bettis.
And I'm Alex Wilson. One day after a deadly tornado outbreak struck parts of the plains, we're tracking dangerous storms again. We'll be timing out the threat, who needs to be on alert also over the next several days.
Yeah, it could be, you know, a threat that lasts right into the weekend, unfortunately. Multiple tornado watches in effect right now across portions of Nebraska, Iowa, Missouri, Illinois, Wisconsin, Minnesota. Varying expiration times here from 7 to 10 to 11 o'clock this evening, but we have had tornado warnings this evening in several places, especially Wisconsin.
Right, and that's one of the places that was hit hard by tornadoes and storms yesterday. So some of the same areas at risk. Dr. Greg Forbes joins us again this evening. He's upstairs in the lab with the very latest.
Thanks, Alex. And we still do have one tornado warning in Wisconsin. It looks, though, more like we have a widespread damaging wind threat in this line of storms from north central to eastern parts of Iowa. That will head off into southeast Minnesota and Wisconsin. And then there's a line ahead of that that has at least a broken line all the way from Illinois into western Wisconsin. One tornado warning in that. All of this in the warm air in between these fronts off to the south and east of those frontal zones. This had been previously tornado warned. I've been following this swirl. I've been calling it a bow echo comma head, and that's coming up across Clark and Jackson counties in Wisconsin. There had been there's some pretty well-defined surge in there, but and that could give a damaging wind threat, mostly now up toward the Alma and the Levi's area of Wisconsin. There had been previously a tornado warning. Farther down in that line, we do have a tornado warning still for Richland and Vernon counties. That's off to the west of Baraboo. You can see a little bit of a hook echo in the south end of that, a little bit of a bow echo in the middle of that, so it's a combination of the winds and maybe a chance of a tornado. Places like Rockbridge, Woodland, up toward the Lindina areas with that threat. Mostly what we're seeing in here is the inflow, prevailing southeast, and then the southwest winds with a little bit of a circulation down to the south of Woodland on the south end of that. Then this line of thunderstorms coming across Black Hawk, Bremer, Butler counties. There's been lots of reports of 60 to 70 mile per hour winds within that. Storms coming across the Cedar Rapids area now. Little embedded mini bow echoes in that coming up toward the E in Cedar Rapids could give the damaging winds there. And now a brand new tornado warning down in the end of that line, an individualized supercell thunderstorm for parts of Henry, Lee, and Van Buren counties. And these storms are racing off to the northeast 55 miles per hour or faster. So Keosauqua, Mount Pleasant, and New London areas are some of the locations in the path of this storm. One of these storms out ahead of that first line, or in the tail end of the first line, I should say, the east line is in Illinois now. Lavender, you can see the hail in this one. Winnebago and Ogle counties heading up toward the Rockford area in Illinois. And a line of thunderstorms, not severe, heading up toward the Twin Cities. It gave a lot of rain down and around the Mankato areas. There's flash flood warnings there. Here's a big picture of some of the forcing for this. Some of the upper air low has gotten a little bit of a northwest to southeast tilt. So that's pushing some cold air up across and helping push this line of storms across Iowa. And then you see just the overall broad spinning that's taking place here with the winds at the surface versus the winds more southwest aloft. So that turning of the winds with height is what's allowing us to have a tornado threat as well as a damaging wind threat. Mike?
All right, Dr. Forbes, thank you very much for that. So let's time this out through the night, show you what's happening. There's the current radar. Take a look at that, okay? Look how well the future radar depicts all of that. It's almost exact. So the models have gotten so good in the last few years, I'm telling you, they blow you away. Look where everything's forecast to go, spiraling around that low, going up through northern Illinois, especially through Wisconsin. We'll get some in Michigan as well. And then things dying down overnight tonight as the air stabilizes some once the sun sets, and then that low eventually spinning out over the Great Lakes here. All right, let's talk about the forecast for Des Moines overnight tonight. Things improve. Again, through about 7 o'clock, then after that, cloudy skies, eventually some clearing through the night as well. But no more risk of severe weather once we get past this latest round. Madison, notice here we have storms that come through until about 10 o'clock. Then after that, the storms roll out and improving conditions for you here. But just be aware, some of these storms have been tornado warned. Wouldn't be surprised to see severe weather come here in Madison. Alex?
Well, the town of Elk City, Oklahoma is beginning to come to terms with the damage seen when a tornado ripped through the community just less than 24 hours ago. Here's what we know right now. Investigators have found at least EF2 tornado damage in Elk City. That's where one person died. Another 10 people were hurt. More than 100 homes are damaged or destroyed. Damage thrown along a 15-mile path in this community. This is in western Oklahoma, and our own Dave Malkoff is there.
The damage, as you can see, is pretty extensive here in Elk City, Oklahoma, on the western side of the state. More than 100 homes were wrecked here in some fashion, either from cosmetic damage all the way up to destruction, as you see behind us. One man was killed as he tried to flee away from this tornado. He was trying to get to his vehicle, and that vehicle was caught up in the worst of the devastation. Governor Mary Fallin was here just minutes ago and made this statement.
It's been a very hard night for the city of Elk City, and we're very proud of all of our first responders, the city mayor and city manager, commissioners, all the people that have come out tonight and today to help our community here. And a lot of people suffered. A lot of homes have been lost. Thank goodness we didn't have a big loss of life. Any loss of life is devastating, but we were very fortunate. This was a big storm. We are very proud of all of our disaster relief teams that are here. There are shelters that have been set up. There is food, there is water. A lot of people out helping their neighbors here in Elk City, and it just shows the Oklahoma spirit.
Governor Mary Fallin just a short time ago here in Elk City, Oklahoma.
And Oklahoma dealing with more than tornadoes. Watch what we're calling an insane hydroplane. Look at that. A car on the other side of the road in Sayre, Oklahoma loses control. Luckily, you can see those cables along the side of the road. They're going to stop it from actually slamming into this driver, but there it goes, and there goes that Oklahoma red mud. Luckily, it was just the mud rather than the truck coming into oncoming traffic, but just another look at some of the hazards that you can face as you're out and about in this severe weather. Heavy rain causes hydroplaning, low visibility, the whole thing. Here's tomorrow's forecast. Some of the same areas. Once again, we look into the Elk City, Oklahoma City areas there in Oklahoma, Wichita Falls, San Angelo, Del Rio, even near Dallas and much of the state of Kansas under that threat for strong to severe storms. Wichita Falls, 40% chance of a tornado within 50 miles. In Elk City, it's a 50% chance of a tornado. So again, watching for an elevated risk for tornadoes in Elk City, and in Wichita, Kansas, 40% chance of a tornado within 50 miles. So a lot of places that need to be on guard for the threat of tornadoes, but also damaging winds and hail. Here's the forecast as we go through the overnight hours, staying fairly quiet across the region. Some more clouds and some rain showers closer to places like Austin and Houston. We get to lunchtime, still looking good, but during the afternoon, there go those storms firing up. We'll be watching the Dallas area, say around the late afternoon, early evening time frame. Here's 6 o'clock moving through Fort Worth, and then shortly after that, around 6:37 for the Dallas Metroplex. As we get towards the later evening hours, those storms will be pushing east, Mike. But it doesn't end Thursday. We're going to have to talk more about the coming days beyond that.
It's amazing. It's been every single day this week, Alex. Thank you. A lot more to come this evening on the show. Significant damage left in the wake of tornadoes in Oklahoma last night. We're going to break down with severe weather expert Dr. Greg Forbes the latest images and show you what this neighborhood looked like before the tornado hit.
Leon Woodbean couldn't have known just how far his original bean boots would go. But he triple-stitched them, just in case. The LL Bean boot, now available in the original and new styles at llbean.com.
Liberty Mutual stood with us when a fire destroyed everything in our living room. We replaced it all without touching our savings.
Yeah, our insurance won't do that.
No. You can leave worry behind when Liberty stands with you. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Well, finished. You wouldn't want your painter to quit partway.
Think you missed a spot.
So when it comes to pain relievers, why put up with just part of a day? Aleve. Live whole, not part.
You want this color over the whole house.
When you're expecting a little angel, be soft. When your little angel expects a lot from you,
You gotta be kidding me, little dude.
be strong. Life takes softness and strength. That's why we make Angel Soft Mega with more of the value you already love.
Honda knows that versatility has its advantages. That's why the Honda HR-V crossover adapts smoothly to every adventure, helps you get to every destination more efficiently, and gives you a better view of your surroundings. The HR-V crossover, from KBB.com's 2017 Best Value brand. Nothing compares to a Honda. Visit your local Honda dealer today.
Thought a lot about what you said.
About not being treated like a little kid anymore. Staying up later.
Being more adventurous. You just have one thing to say about that.
It's about
Kids grow up. So do vacations. 3 theme parks. 5 resort hotels. Universal Orlando Resort. Make a splash with a 3-park vacation package, including Universal's all-new Volcano Bay water theme park.
Nothing spoils a moment like heartburn. Try new Alka-Seltzer Ultra Strength Heartburn Relief Chews. It's fast, powerful relief with no chalky taste. Ultra Strength, new from Alka-Seltzer. Enjoy the relief.
People would ask me in different countries that we traveled, what is your nationality? And I would always answer Hispanic. So when I got my Ancestry DNA results, it was a shocker. I'm from all nations, and it puts a hunger in your heart to want to know more.
There's an opportunity in every window. So start your day opening the window to your weather with Jim Cantori, Stephanie Abrams, and Jen Carfagno, looking out at the stories and the science behind your forecast. Open up your mornings with AMHQ on the Weather Channel.
What makes me a weather geek? The fact that I love the weather, especially when it's hit me in the side of the face.
I'm gonna ride this one out, guys.
Be one of the thousands of weather geeks out there at weloveweather.tv.
Welcome back into Weather Underground. We are tracking active weather once again this evening in some of the same places that were hit hard during storms last night, including Wisconsin, much of the state under a tornado watch, along with south and southeastern sections of Minnesota, much of the state of Iowa, a little bit of Missouri, and then getting into northern Illinois. So let's take a peek at the radar. We've got some storms moving through sections of the UP of Michigan, but the severe weather rolling through Iowa, where we've got warnings all the way from the northern border of the state to the southern border and into the state of Wisconsin. Let's take a look down here at the southern line of this Boeing area of storms. So I think we're likely seeing gusty, damaging winds along with a lot of these, but notice we do have one lone cell here moving towards Henry, Jefferson, Van Buren counties until 7 o'clock. Keosauqua in the path of this one. So if you're in that area, you want to be that lowest level, most interior room right now. Probably seeing some hail out of this as well. Yep, and let's get a query on this. Hail likely in excess, I would think, of 2 inches. Yep, 2.5 inches here. All right, we go back to the radar because I want to get you to those other 2 warnings here in the northern parts of, or rather the central parts of the state of Wisconsin. A closer look here. We'll start with the more southern storm here. These all moving towards or moving over from the state of Minnesota, Jackson, Juneau, and Monroe County here. This moving right over 94 as we speak. So if you know somebody traveling that roadway, give them a call and let them know to watch out for this storm. Now just to the south and southeast of Mentor, Clark, and Jackson counties under a severe, or rather a tornado warning as well. This one crossing over I-10 as it moves to the north and east. Mike?
All right, Alex, thank you very much. There are reports of at least 30 tornadoes across the Great Lakes. Elk City, Oklahoma, one area hit particularly hard. Look at this neighborhood and how much damage to these homes here. The National Weather Service doing their surveys there, saying preliminary EF2, but they haven't completed their survey yet. That could actually even go a little bit higher. But Dr. Forbes with us here in the lab now. Take a look at some of this damage. I mean, some of these homes are significantly damaged, and these are some big homes. Then you take a look at this. This is the clubhouse. Let's pause this here. This is the clubhouse of the golf course.
Yeah, and you saw on the homes a lot of roofs off, and here a big chunk of the roof off. Some of it is still standing. Part of it was peeled off here, and then it's entirely off here. I can't tell. Well, a little bit of a wall down in here. So this would be one that I would think would be up in that near the edge of the EF2 range, getting close to the 135 mile per hour speed.
Let's give you a little different perspective because we've matched this up with Google Maps, and we're going to show you what this clubhouse looks like. There it is. This is the southern side of the entire neighborhood here, Dr.
We
Forbes.
had a chunk off here, and then a lot of damage
and there was
in here.
Yeah, back in here, it looked like it took a particularly hard hit. Let's go back to the video now and show you some other parts of this neighborhood. And you can see this home here from right above Dr. Forbes. Man, the whole second story is gone. You can see right down into the house.
Yeah, two-car garage is gone. You're seeing some of the walls are down here, and then the entire roof is off. The same kind of deal here. Most of the roof is off. So this is again one that could be up in the EF2 range. Yeah,
there's trees are in the street here.
Trees completely knocked, uprooted, and probably tossed. We know that. We know the tree wasn't growing in the middle of the street, so it's been tossed from somewhere.
Let's pause that. Let's show you what this home looks like before this tornado hit. Okay, there's the Google view of it. There's the house that had some damage there with the pool, but this is the house where the whole top story was missing. We show you the street level view of this, and these are all pretty sturdy homes, Dr. Forbes. They're all brick homes. Doesn't look like many of them have basements though, but that's not a poorly constructed house.
Yeah, it's a well-constructed house, a brick facade to all of that, and it's taken off the entirety of the roof and probably knocked down, as we saw, some of the walls as well.
Let's spin this around and show the houses that are across the street, okay? So you take a look at the homes that are across the street, and let's go back to the video, okay? Because across the street, we had some pretty significant damage. This house and this house across the street. We can roll that.
Big house, only a little bit of the roof gone here, but this one, the roof again is entirely gone, and a little bit of the back side of the house here looks like the walls have been knocked down.
Incredible damage here in Elk City. Great analysis from Dr. Forbes. We'll be right back.
It's not how fast you mow, it's how well you mow fast.
It's not how fast you mow, it's how well you mow fast.
It's not how fast you mow, it's how well you mow fast. It's not how fast you mow, it's how well you mow fast.
They're not just words to mow by, they're words to live by. The John Deere Z-Track Z345R with the Excel Deep Deck to mow faster, better. Take a test drive and save up to $250 on select John Deere residential Z-Track mowers.
Men, after 40, you have a choice.